50s, and then a chance of showers, possibly a rumble of thunder on Wednesday. High temperatures in the low to mid 70s. I'm Sally Russell with the forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936.
Here's Jones on a keeper. Out over the 40 to midfield. Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
3-2 pitch. He struck him out. Got him looking. Hagen Smith has tied the school record with 17 strikeouts, but he's done it in 6 dominating innings. Peyton Holt in center field makes the catch. Runners don't try to score. Donay's coming home. He throws to third. Sprague Lott fires to the plate. They got him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and good morning and welcome into halftime on this Tuesday. Thanks for tuning in on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. I'm Phil Elson, my partner Matt Jones, Christian Johnston with you as well in the producer's chair, and we'll take you over for the next 3 hours. Great to be with you today. Good morning, Matt. It's a little overcast today outside my window. Don't have the sun shining as brightly as it was yesterday. We got Super Bowl week. Got a game tomorrow, Arkansas versus Texas, finally matching up on the basketball floor as conference opponents. And it's good to be doing halftime with you today. What's up?
How old is Gabe? Yeah, good morning, Phil. You know when do you learn that you take a shower and put on deodorant every day? Like I don't know. I don't know when people learn that.
So he's 12 and he has picked up on that information, I'd say pretty much in the last year and a half.
Okay, so about 12 is when people yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't even have like any underarm hair, but still, we managed to buy some deodorant. Don't need to get the antiperspirant yet, but I'd say maybe that's a year or two off. It's like, so I wake the kid up sometimes, right? Whenever he's sleeping at my place. Sometimes I wonder, I go wake him up for school in the morning and I pat him on the butt and then I say to him, your face is underneath this blanket. Does your body odor not just wake you up yourself? Because I don't even want to go into his room sometimes to wake him up, Matt.
Brush your teeth.
That's the first thing you do. You to go shower when you wake up. That's right.
Goodness. Yeah, it's a little ripe in here, but we opened a window. I got to get it's my fault, I probably got to get something in here.
I walked in here the same time you did.
Yeah, it's probably my fault.
Do you have a sensitive sense of smell, or is it, compared to some others? Probably
maybe.
Because I've been in there a few times, but it can be just a tad ripe. I think would be the term.
Man.
Yeah.
But life's good. We got a game tomorrow. It's Super Bowl week, man. Let's get it as the unit would say.
That's right. Yeah, I didn't pay attention to media day yesterday at the Super Bowl. I guess they don't credential quite as many people as they used to. Wasn't able to listen to Cal's radio show outside of the clips that I've heard this morning on Chuck and Bo in the Morning Rush and some of the stuff that was sent here. Was at the women's basketball game last night, the one Monday night game that Arkansas women's basketball will play in conference. And it was a weird one yesterday, Matt. We had an historic performance by Izzy Higginbottom. She became just the 4th player ever at Arkansas to score 40 in a women's basketball game. Think about how many years they've been playing women's hoops, early 80s. Only 4 times has somebody ever crossed, or I shouldn't say crossed because she finished at 40 points. I've been there for 2 of them, and they've both been losses. Now, Chelsea Dungy did that in 2019, finished with 41 points in an exhilarating loss to the Auburn Tigers, a game that was back and forth and came down to the very end. Yesterday's game against Florida kind of felt like it was decided after the first quarter with the Gators up 28-16. Florida goes on to win 108-78. Izzy scored 40 of Arkansas's 78 points. And like really, she could have not just challenged, but probably broken the single game scoring record at Arkansas, which is held by Shelly Wallace in the 1988 season in a non-conference game against Oral Roberts, scored 44. She finished just 4 points short of that, and she was taken out for the last 2.5 minutes, and I can appreciate the reason why Mike took her out. He said, I want you to, if you're going to break that record, I want you to do it in a game that you'd rather remember instead of a game where, you know, I mean, she scored 40. The rest of the team scored 38. She's 12 of 25 from the floor. The rest of the club is 15 for 51. She made all 13 of her free throws. The rest of the team went 4 for 12. And, you know, I know everybody out there yesterday was trying their hardest. Izzy continues to just absolutely she's putting together one of the most historic seasons in Arkansas athletics history. Right now, if the season were to end now, her scoring average of 24.3 would be number one in women's basketball history at Arkansas. Unfortunately, it's coming in a season where they've dropped 6 games more than they've won. Yesterday, I think, is the 5th loss of at least 30 points, and it was kind of tough to watch. And with every bucket that she scored, you know, all that happened is you get within 22 or you get within 20. But I have to, look, I mean, I haven't watched a season like this in a long time up close. I try to take pleasure or joy, and I think all the fans in Bud Walton Arena yesterday, and there were a little over 2,200 of them, you know, when you show up, you're a fan, you're a broadcaster of the team, you know, maybe you don't expect the team's going to win against some of these opponents. I thought they had a shot yesterday against Florida because the Gators had lost 4 in a row. But I'm really enjoying watching Izzy. And, you know, I don't know how deep the women's team can run in Greenville in the SEC tournament. You know, a national tournament feels like a real reach, obviously. But I have to sit back and kind of be a little bit in awe of watching what Izzy is doing. Because there's 2-3 defenders, Matt, coming at her sometimes. And, you know, I just didn't see a lot of mistakes from Higginbottom yesterday. But it's tough to, you know, literally put the team on your shoulders and still drop one by 30 yesterday. That was tough.
Well, the thing, too, Phil, is you get a scouting report before you play each game, and you know whose name goes first. And so the fact that she's still doing it, knowing that the first thing every team's trying to do is stop her. You know, that's she's number one on the scouting report.
And it's not – so I would figure sometimes they might say, we're not too worried about the others. So, you know, it's like can one player really beat you sometimes? And when Arkansas has won SEC games, Izzy's been really good, but she's had a lot of help from other players. You know, Jenna dropped double digits for the third game in a row. That was good to see. And they were down a couple of starters that usually play 25 minutes or so, but it was tough. It was tough yesterday. So, I mean, that's all. We'll get into that. Although all right, it's at least worth saying. Izzy leads the nation in points scored, total points scored. Nobody in women's basketball has more than 583 points, and that's Izzy Higginbottom. Ranks 5th in the nation in points per game, 2nd in the nation in free throws, and she's 5th in the nation in field goals made. That's, by the way, with every team knowing who's going to have the ball and who's going to take most of the shots. The 583 points right now rank in a tie for 6th all-time in a single season at Arkansas, and you still got another month of games to go, so it's not a good season. It's not the kind of year that you're hoping for, but it is an amazing single individual season by Izzy Higginbottom, and I'm going to enjoy that. And then, you know, we'll see what happens when the season comes to an end. But there's still, you know, while with women's basketball, Matt, it feels like a real reach to think about a national tournament. You know, I mean, it does feel like a reach for the men to be able to get there, although I think that the men's team probably has a little bit more on the roster to try to make that sort of a run. The thing is we went through some of the games you got on the schedule remaining, And that, to me, it makes the two Texas games about as much.
There's just not any room for error. We've
right.
dug ourselves kind of a hole that we're going to have. So what do we have? 2 wins right now, Phil, and you got to get to 8 to make the tournament. So we got to go 6 and 4. Is that what you're kind of seeing?
Got to win the 2 Texas games if you're going to make it. I mean, those are absolutely 2 of the 6, and it starts tomorrow at the Moody Center, which. By the way, I know this
6 and 12 doesn't get you in, right? I mean, there's no way.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get to 8 wins, I think, in conference. I think 8 gets you in because then you're going to beat some real basketball teams.
I've seen some women's teams in the SEC make it with 6 wins, but that's in a 16-game league schedule. Yeah, with 18, I think you can get in with a losing record, but 6. Again, it's like maybe you get a couple of wins against ranked teams or quad 1 wins in that case, but then your losses also end up being. I think some bad losses. It's a matter of, I don't know if you got to necessarily upset Alabama and Auburn and Missouri, but I think you're going to have to pick off one of them, and then you got to win at Texas. That's first and foremost. You got to win at Carolina. You got to win at Vanderbilt, and 3 wins on the road in the SEC is going to be tough, no matter where they come, especially a place like Vanderbilt and Texas. I mean, that's a team that's won 3 of their last 4. That's not an easy building to play. So you can't take anything for granted here. But I do know you got to win these 2 Texas games.
Yeah, it's because you lost at LSU and lost at home to Oklahoma. If you win those 2 games, it's such a different, drive. The scenery would be so different. But losing those 2 games, you have to go pluck one. You have to go. You just went and did it at Lexington, but you have to go do it again because what you did. So if you can take care of your home games. Except maybe, but you get Missouri coming in. A lot of people think Missouri might be playing the best basketball in the SEC.
Well, I also know the last time Arkansas won back-to-back games, it was 9 days apart. It was against North Carolina, A&T, and Oakland. And it's a little bit different to try to win back-to-back road games in the SEC. Certainly a win at Rupp is awfully difficult to pull off. We just saw them pull it off. So a win at Moody Coliseum could actually happen as well. Why not? Here's what's halftime today for a Tuesday. Bill King won't be on the show today. I was listening to his morning show today on WNSR in Nashville, and he didn't have much of a voice. I don't know how he made it through 3 hours. It sounded like he was auditioning for Darth Vader. So Bill won't be on the show today. We'll talk with Matt Jones from the Democrat Gazette, Whole Hog Sports, Hogs Illustrated, about the baseball team instead, since we are coming up to opening day next Friday. So we'll get with Matt Jones at 1:15. In about an hour, it'll be Alyssa Orange from Pig Trail Nation and Nobody in hour number 1. So it is you and us. You can get with this right now if you want. Calls and texts come in at 877-377-6963. And we'll be right back after this break.
Who's the big winner here tonight at the casino? Huh? Mikey, that's who. Mikey's the big winner.
This is halftime.
Boogie Fland leading them down the stretch.
Fland in the corner, and Boogie knocks down the 3. Fland just picked his pocket. Boogie Flash got the steal. Fland to the other end. Good and one. How about Boogie Fland?
That shot he made from the corner, that's a big boy play.
Boogie's open in the corner. Fland for 3. It's good. And Arkansas leads.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
A new era of chicken is here to stay, and it's not your parents' poultry. The Cantina Chicken menu from Taco Bell is slow roasted and perfectly seasoned. Take it tacoed up in a crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out, or wrapped in a burrito with fresh purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. However you like it, you'll never chicken the same way again. Get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell and join rewards to earn free food. Available at participating stores. Rewards points are earned on qualifying purchases. All items while supplies last. Subject to terms.
Hello, this is Sebastian.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch.
Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football to NBA, college basketball to NHL and UFC, BetOnline is your number one sports betting source for the new year. From every touchdown to three-pointer and hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Eat Lux your way with the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. The $5 classic box is iconic all over. The $7 Supreme box has your decadent favorites and then some. The $9 Discovery box introduces you to your newest obsession, like cheesy dipping burritos. Introducing the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu, only at Taco Bell.
You'll ever do. Two can be as bad as one. It's the loneliest number since the number one. No is the saddest experience you'll ever know. Yes, it's the saddest experience you'll ever know. 'Cause one is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. One is the loneliest number worth two.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
When you have six guys in double figures, you're winning most of those games. When you have that kind of balance. And that's what my good teams do.
That was John Calipari last night on the Coach Radio Show. You heard it right here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. 5 players got in double figures. They were all the starters for the Razorbacks in the victory over Kentucky on Saturday. It'd be a surprise you get 6 into double figures at any one time. But you're probably going to need a little bit more off the bench through the remainder of the season. The thing to see here is that these guys stayed on the floor without ever picking up a 4th foul. I mean, Carter Knox out there, a freshman, 34 minutes. just the 3 fouls, or do 3 fouls. That's going to be key to trying to stay on the court, because I mean it looked like that starting 5 when they were on the court together. There was some chemistry. Roles seemed to play themselves out, and it's part of the trick of this now, Matt, is you can do it once, right? It's the same idea as when I go bowling. I can roll a strike every once in a while. Putting 2 of them together is a little bit difficult for me. That's why I never made it to 200. That's why I sat at 199, because I couldn't hit that very last strike after hitting the second one in the 10th frame. The trick is doing it again, and also doing it again after you've been scouted from your best performance in the SEC. Texas is going to scout that game pretty tightly, and they're going to try to take away what Arkansas did. Thing is, though, if you get Texas is a better defensive team than Kentucky, it's going to be more difficult to get into the 80s against them. And I still think about open shots that were just missed in the Oklahoma game, in the LSU game. So maybe there will be some of those open looks. I think Arkansas has actually worked the ball to get good shots, not just in the Kentucky game either, Matt. The trick was making them.
Yeah, they shot lights out, didn't they? Maybe we can play our home games at Lexington. Kentucky didn't really play deep. I was really unimpressed with Kentucky. They can definitely score. They got athletes, but they had some sloppy turnovers. Their best 3-point shooter hit his first one, then missed his next 5. It was just one of those deals where it all came together. If the moment was too big, or Kentucky just they didn't play well in the second half. It's one win. And we're at 2. So yeah, I'm just we'll see. Is this team good enough to go into Austin and win? Potentially, but is this is it 10% good enough, or is it what are you doing? I've seen Texas play 0 basketball this year.
Well, all I know is if you're good enough to go into Rupp and win that game with all the hype that was around it. But there's no hype going into this game. You would think Arkansas versus Texas, well, there's probably a little more hype going into football. But there isn't that kind of buildup here. Like, nobody's talking about this game the same way that we're about the Kentucky game.
It's another. This game is bigger than the Kentucky game for the Hogs. If they don't understand that, I don't know what I can do for them. This game against Texas is 10 times bigger, because it gives you a chance to get to number 3. Like, if you're talking about making the steps and making the climb, and Coach Z yesterday said this team's making the NCAA tournament. We're both kind of like, yeah, we hope so, but I don't know. So this game is bigger than the last game.
That's a great way to put it. It's got to be the first one there in front of you. And the feeling of accomplishment from Saturday's win, like, you got to just get over that immediately. And I understand you're going to bring that up on the Coach's Show yesterday. That's what a show is all about, talking about what you just did and what's coming up ahead of you. But you can't sit on those laurels. Like, we're here. We spent yesterday talking a ton about the Kentucky game, but it was also like, all right, so what does this mean? What does this game mean? Is this a one-off? Is this the thing where you're like, all right, well, this was our best win of the season. You remember that Kentucky game, but forget the rest of the season? What does it mean? Is this more about, the 3 returning Kentucky players and Cal going back there and turning that into their quote-unquote Super Bowls, people always like to say? Or is this a turnaround? Or is this, the kind of thing where, hey, we actually just found ourselves for the first time all season, too? You think about the warning that Cal gave us in November when we knew that there were a couple of injuries and it might be a little bit slow for the team to develop. And you knew that Tennessee, Auburn, Alabama, Kentucky, heck, virtually the entire SEC would have a head start on Arkansas because of the healthiness that those teams were enjoying compared to the lack of health that Arkansas has not enjoyed. And then you get the injury to Boogie 2 weeks ago, and you got to try to find yourself all over again, while you never really did find yourself in the month of January. So, that's what I'm hoping. It's just not a one-off, and that there has to be that sense of urgency that you felt on Saturday. Because Saturday was just one game. That's all it was. There was nothing more than that. It's like the Tennessee game. It's like, I think you brought it up yesterday. That's how we're viewing the Tennessee game in football now. That was the one game. That was the win. That was the number one game of the season. What did it mean? Did it feel like there was a big leap forward after that? I don't think so. Now, you had the bowl win, and I think that's independent from the rest of the season. But you wanted to have another one after the Tennessee win, whether it be LSU or Ole Miss or Texas. Because the Mississippi State win was, I don't know if that necessarily did not register the same way. You need more wins like that in basketball. You need more upsets. It's like you got against Kentucky. And I don't know what the line is, but I also know, look, the next two games, you're going to be a dog. In fact, I think Arkansas won't even be favored if I'm just looking at this team right now. Now, they go on a run. If they win these next two, beat LSU, who knows? I don't think you'll be favored on the road in College Station or Auburn, but maybe you'll be favored at home against Missouri, on the road against Carolina. But I don't know if a lot of people, Matt, expect that that's the win that kind of turns the season around, or if it was just a one-off. That's the thing we got to protect against.
Keep that, it takes one. You get a little confidence, get a little momentum. You see it in all sports. They had a week off, and they go into Lexington and get a dub, and let's see if you can keep that going, if you can keep that positivity, keep that confidence. Is Nelly Davis, has he came over the hump? Are you going to get more out of your bigs? Is Big Z ready to play 28, 30 minutes? I mean, there's a lot going on to see if, I think Wagner and Thiero, 3 and 21, I'm not worried about those dudes. Those dudes can play 40 minutes a game. Those are some dogs. So those guys, they can go. Those are my two favorite players on the team. I mean, if you're rolling out a basketball and picking guys, those would be your captains. Like 3 and 21 would be dividing up the teams. So keep them going. And then you made a good point. We don't really have a lot of depth to get in foul trouble. If we have two guys foul out, we're in trouble. I love some Carter Knox. He's my third favorite guy on the team. 11, you're seeing him blossom. He is. There's not a moment where it's like the moment's too big for him. Like, he blends right in, fits right in, makes plays, looks athletic. He's going to be so much fun next year. I think he'll be one of our cornerstone players next year.
Yeah, I like the starting five. I still would like to see hopefully more consistency from Big Z, but man, I like what I saw on Saturday, and it does feel like he's improving some. And those who texted in last month and thought that Z deserves some more minutes, you're absolutely right about that. I think he was maybe the number one key of the win over Kentucky. But the problem about this is that if anybody were to get into trouble, and at some point with at least the position that Z plays, he's not going to be on the court. You have to have something from Edu and or Brazil. And that, to me, is the X factor at the moment because, Trevin had a great first couple of months, but in SEC play, it is not there very much, and he's not really even getting the minutes. So something's going on in practice, and certainly it's playing itself out in the games. And Edu, to me, Matt, that's like been the number one thing I've brought up throughout basketball season is about Nelly Davis and about Jonas Edu. Nelly is coming around. I think he's coming around. Edu is regressing. He's going in the other direction. Is it just about the ankle injury? Well, by now, February 4th, it can't just be about that. You're going to need something from him, or you're going to need Brazil to be the guy that we feel he can be, the pterodactyl that you talk about, because it can't just be Z as your one big man that can give you something. You're going to need something from either one of those guys or both of them, and I'll tell you what, this week, I think both Brazil and Edu have to be pluses for this team, not negatives, not minuses.
Well, you talk about emotions, you talk about players coming home. I bet you Teron Mark. I bet he's lively. I bet that dude's ready to play.
I'll bet he is, and he doesn't have.
And he's smooth, man. He's got a nice little shot. He won us a couple games. I'm a fan of his.
Chris wants Arkansas to beat Texas like a drum in their new gaudy arena. It is a beautiful arena. We were there for women's basketball a month ago. That might be the nicest arena in the league right now. And, it is the newest arena in the league, and sometimes these things go together. Calls and texts on halftime also go together, 877-377-6963. Stay with us. More right after the break.
Yo, Adrian, it's me, Rocky.
This is halftime.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Evan Cohen here from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio for True Green. Are you ready to elevate your lawn game without breaking the bank? True Green has been the trusted choice for over 2 million homeowners for over 50 years. Visit TrueGreen.com and discover the easiest and affordable way to achieve a pro-level lawn guaranteed. Plus, enjoy True Green's verified price matching, ensuring you get the best lawn for the best price. Visit TrueGreen.com and transform your lawn effortlessly. That's TrueGreen.com. Your dream lawn is just around the corner.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals are just people. They've got their lives and families same as you and me. But what happens when big hospitals and insurance companies ask too much of them and make them work too many hours without enough help? You can only stretch something so far before it breaks and people get hurt or even die. That's where I come in. If the healthcare system in our area has hurt you or someone you love, call me. Together, let's make them do healthcare better. I'm Phil Votaw, and you've never met a lawyer like me.
The Neumeier family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Neumeier's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Neumeier family.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Agent Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Agent Brad Howell in Van Buren.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Gonna build myself a castle. There'll be skies outside my window. Those three streets and clouds.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Well, Lamont Butler will be out again today for Kentucky as they take on Ole Miss at the Pavilion. They're not the same team without
I like
Butler.
Ole Miss in that one tonight.
I'll tell you what.
Ole Miss plays as a team.
I think I like a lot of teams against Kentucky for the time being. You just saw they could end up losing in the first round again. Anybody out there want to make any more predictions about Kentucky making another first round?
I was really
exit?
unimpressed with their defense, man. I like to me, if you're going to see teams, like look at the Super Bowl. These are two defensive wizards. I mean, both these teams are just they're defense first. You think of teams that win championships, you have to be able to play defense. Kentucky, they look, and maybe it's all about having their main guy. You know, they don't have their main guy. That I'm sure that hurts them a little bit, but they looked lost at time because Arkansas, we looked every bit as just as athletic as Kentucky. We don't run a whole lot of special plays. You know, we run some stuff to start the half, a couple things off a timeout or something, but a lot of our stuff is a motion-based type of offense.
Yeah, drive, get to the rim. If someone's
Spacing,
open, kick it out.
right?
And hit your shots on the outside. That's what started to happen. And I think when I think of a team like Kentucky, I think of a team that really needs to have their floor general because it's not like they're going to be winning games in the 60s very often. That's a team that's got to get into the 80s, I think, every single game. And without Butler, I think it's a little tough for them to pull that off. And certainly, I don't think they're going to be stopping anybody anytime soon. Defense wins championships, doesn't it? Yes. The offense will get the headlines. The offense will sell some tickets. Defense can win your championships for you. By the way, it looks like Lenardi's got Arkansas. They're back in bracketology, Matt, but they're not in the tournament. They're not in the field of 68. They are the next four out. So judging by what Lenardi's got here, he's got Arkansas as the last team on next four out. Wake Forest, SMU, North Carolina, then Arkansas. I think the Razorbacks are literally the very last team that Lenardi typed into or entered or however it is that he puts it on his page for bracketology. So let's see, they get the 68 teams, you get 76 teams that are on this list, and the Razorbacks are the 76th team. So what that tells me is, so you're saying there's a chance. If Lenardi puts you there, well, it's all about winning, splitting what you got left. Pretty close to it, at least.
Gotta put a streak together. Got to win 3 in a row, 4 in a row. Like you said, the back-to-back wins, it hasn't happened since December. You kind of look, you start kind of grouping it. So, you know, Texas, Alabama, LSU, that's our next 3. You need to go 2-1. So then A&M, Auburn, Missouri, that's your 3 after that. I mean, you got to go 2-1 in that. You know, you can't. It's not like you can go 0-3 or 1-2, 1-2. That's not going to get you in the tournament.
Here's John Calipari on the key to tomorrow's game against Texas.
Offensively, they space in a lot of one-on-one. You got to be able to guard your man. So that you call that guard your yard. You got to guard your yard because that guy's trying to go, and you can't just let him drive by you.
This is a team that's led by a freshman, Trey Johnson, a guard. He's averaging 18 points in SEC play. And you look at some of the teams that Texas has beaten, they've played really well or hard and well against some of the better teams in the league. They've split with A&M, losing on the road, winning at home by 1. They just lost by 3 at Ole Miss. They have a win at home against Missouri. They've got a win on the road against Oklahoma. They have lost 2 home games against Auburn and Tennessee, 5-point loss to the Tigers, 4-point loss to Tennessee. So, I mean, they've been in, I think, every single game they've played outside of 2 losses. They were dropped by 20 at A&M. They lost by 24 at Florida. But 2-2 at home, and even the 2 home losses have been against 2 top-ranked clubs, and they were tight ones. So it's going to be that's going to be a tough place to play. I saw that for the women's game, and it's loud. They're right on top of you. It's got the whole sort of the different kind of a scoreboard that rings the arena, and it's a really cool building. Let's get some texts here from listeners. Jamie in Fayetteville thinks rebounding is going to be huge in the Texas game. They're not really tall. They don't particularly rebound well. Texas is -3 in rebounding in SEC games this year. You got to defend first and then rebound, so hopefully that's a big aspect of it. Greg in Farmington says too many opportunities to drive to the hole to get the layup, but as soon as they drive, they kick it back out. I've seen a team that's gotten to the hole. I've seen a team in Arkansas that's gotten to the rim. They've had a little trouble finishing at the rim. I don't know what their field goal percentage is, around the restricted area, but I would assume it's a little lower than you'd expect. So, but I also think that it's a really talented club. They should be feeling really good as long as you just get past the good feelings of the Kentucky game. And that has to feel different for them than any other win that they may experience. That just has to feel a lot different. I don't know if it's more difficult to move past that, but it's, good thing you don't have a bye week this week and you just kind of get right into it.
When you're 4 games below 500, it's on to the next one. It feels good. It's confidence. It does. It feels to going into work all week, man, you're feeling a little better. Everybody's smiling a little bit more. You're showing up early for stuff. You're feeling kind of confidence. But when you're still 4 games under 500, you don't really get to think about it too much.
What if you're 2-22? What if you're the Green Bay Phoenix, who haven't won a game since November the 19th?
Those kids better be going to class.
You think Doug Gottlieb is going to class with them?
Man, he's kind of wanting me to get into coaching. I was like, if he can do it, I think I could do that.
You could still host this radio show on a daily basis and still be a coach, man, if you want to go the Gottlieb route, Matt.
2-22. What happened?
I tell you what's going on. I mean, he's probably got to do, I think he's got a 2-hour show. You got to take it down to 1 hour. That extra hour is pretty much the difference here. You remember when he took over the job, he's like, this is going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a guy that's been in basketball his whole life, runs a radio show where he's awfully opinionated and everything.
He was an all-conference basketball player. Wasn't he like a second-team all-conference type player?
I don't remember. I remember him being good, but I don't remember how good he was.
Had the yips at the free throw line, but he was a decent little guard.
Yeah, and everybody always points out about I think he got in trouble for stealing a credit card of a teammate at Notre Dame. But nobody ever lets you forget those things. I remember that. Yeah, I remember. Well, nobody lets him forget about it on social media. But they're just getting their face rubbed in it every time. 0-13 in their league, the Horizon, 2-22. Like, you know how difficult it is to, I shouldn't say difficult. It's just, in the middle of a bad basketball season, in the middle of a bad football season, sometimes it can be a little difficult to figure out, all right, how are we going to what's the angle of the show today? How are we going to talk about this 0-8 football team, right? Remember feeling about that when we started halftime in 2018. And Chad Morris is the coach. You're like, all right, well, at least there's some newness to this show, because I don't know how we can talk about a football team that's quite this bad. But what about when you host a radio show and you coach the team at the same time? Like I'm trying to bring up Arkansas women's basketball, and I'm not going to bury this team. I'm going to try to show some of the positives and then make some sense of why they are where they are at the moment, but it's not my team. Like, I don't have to answer for it at all. And it's not like Gottlieb, who's doing a national show, is making the Green Bay Phoenix the topic of the day. But it's like right now, you'd be talking about the big trades in the NBA. You'd be talking about the Super Bowl. You have spring training coming up in a week or so. Not trying to figure out how the heck do I find a way for us to win a game for the first time in 3 months. I never thought it would work to begin with, because I have a tough time keeping my life together, hosting a radio show and doing all these play-by-play and traveling back and forth. I don't know. I'm not responsible for the wins and the losses. I'm not. Those guys are. None of the players on Arkansas baseball and Arkansas women's basketball are looking to me for any answers. Good thing too, because I got none. They're all looking to Gottlieb for answers, and meanwhile he's wondering about what the topic is the next day.
Well, he might be good at delegating. I mean, it is so Spursy. They just kind of quietly got DeAndre Fox, who we'll see how that met. Nobody's even talking about that, which, Luka's a top 5 player in the game right now. But Wemby is too. If you're talking about who would you want to start a franchise with, Wemby or Luka. Do you think there's more to come out on this Luka deal, like in the next weeks? Like, is there like some injury we don't know about, like he has a bone bruise somewhere? Is there something that you think?
That's what I keep hearing, is that it doesn't make any sense for this trade to go down the way that it did.
They didn't get a young super, because I brought that up yesterday. How do you not get Austin Reeves in the mix? How do you not get Dalton Connect to come to? Like, how did you not get somebody else? Instead, you get the 31-year-old, which AD's a top 10 player in the league if he's healthy and going to play. If he wants to do it, that dude's a menace.
It does feel like there has to be something else, either or that Nico Harrison knows something about Luka's injury that hasn't come out yet. Yeah. Otherwise, the feeling is that the Mavs got fleeced and they pissed off every one of their fans in the process. The last time I remember a trade that angered a fan base so much, but it was expected then. That was the difference. Remember when the Boston Red Sox traded Mookie Betts. Today's actually the day of this trade, 2020. They traded him and David Price to the Dodgers. And it was a money-saving deal. They're trying to get under the luxury tax. But it was anticipated because, the two sides weren't going to come to an agreement. And Boston knew they had to get something for him. And they also wanted to get rid of Price's contract. There was a big albatross around them. But it was anticipated. And that was a big topic of that offseason. Like, this came literally out of the blue. And there are a lot of upset, I think, executives around the NBA, from what I'm reading, that were ticked off that the feeling is no other team had a chance to be a part of this, or at least bid for Luka's services. I also read where Danny Ainge, who runs the Jazz, and they're the third team involved in this for I think they get a couple of second-round picks. Like, he didn't even know that Luka and AD were part of the trade until 30 minutes before the trade was consummated. Yet he'd agreed to be a part of, getting some picks to go around and be the third team of this deal. So that's also, to me, this is like one of the quietest big trades I've ever seen in any sport, where there was no rumors. It came, I know it didn't come
Saturday night at 11 o'clock,
but it felt like it came with a drop of a hat. That's right. And like that late night, smoke out of the chimney kind of quality to it. It's wild. Scott's got a feeling on why Dalton Connect and Austin Reeves are not part of the trade. He doesn't think that they play enough defense. So
they play more than Klay Thompson does.
That's the thing. It's like, okay, I never even thought about that. You just in the offseason, who did the Mavs go out and get? They get Klay Thompson.
And where was Kyrie going to go, too? When Kyrie left, he was going to go to L.A., but he chose to pair up in Dallas with Luka, and now Luka's in L.A. because he was going to go back and play with LeBron. It is it's as the world turns.
And the conspiracy theories come out, too. Gavin says he's got a conspiracy theory that the Mavs are trying to anger their fan base and everyone else in Dallas so they can move to Vegas. Well, remember, that's the team that is now owned by the Adelson family, who certainly have huge connections in Vegas. Conspiracy theories can be a lot of fun, Gavin, but I really can't see the city of Dallas losing its NBA franchise anytime soon. But that's a fun one to think about. 877-377-6963 to get with us on Halftime. Quick break. We'll be back to wrap up the first hour right after this.
You're killing me, Smalls.
This is Halftime.
Valley Family Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a store card. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com. FinchCapital.com.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbIrdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Agent Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Agent Brad Howell in Van Buren.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. What makes you unique from other stores in the area?
I try to build a great relationship with all of my customers. I can do just anything from cars to food trucks to signs, banners. I do a lot of custom this and that. I'll say 100% of anybody come in here, they leave out happy. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Now, for a limited time, employee pricing is back at the #1 fifth wheel dealer in Arkansas, Wheels RV. That's right, employee pricing is back, and you pay what our employees pay on a huge selection of select new and used RVs, plus some 2025 models included. You'll find all your favorite brands, such as Grand Design, Brinkley, Forest River, Vibe, Nobo, and Flagstaff. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV sold. Employee pricing exclusively at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV, located 5 miles west of I-49 in Tawnytown. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I think I'm gonna be sad. I think it's today. The boy that's driving me mad is going away. He's got a ticket to ride. He's got a ticket to ride.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Chalk it up to one of the, 500 different Beatles covers? Karen Carpenter with Ticket to Ride Here. I did not know she had done this. It was being played that today is the anniversary of Karen Carpenter's passing in 1983. Very sad event. 877-377-6963 to get with us here on Halftime. Make sure you go to hitthatline.com soon. Help us raise funds for Arkansas Children's Northwest's most recent round of expansion. We're part of the Magic and Miracles Radiothon taking place at Arkansas Children's Northwest Friday, February 21st. All of our shows will be on location. It is the 10th year in a row that this event is taking place. All proceeds support the expansion project at Arkansas Children's Northwest and help grow one of the great resources of our region. You can go to hitthatline.com. You see the link at the top of the page. Click it. Donate to the Halftime page. And we thank Schlotzsky's, a mouthful, and the perfect partner for your event catering needs. Schlotzsky's is the presenting sponsor for Halftime. Speaking of the Luka Doncic trade, Patrick Mahomes chipped in yesterday.
As a Dallas fan, it hurts me, but I'm happy for him that he's going to be able to go out there and be in L.A. and get to try to achieve his dream of winning a championship. But he did so much, not only for the basketball team, but for the city of Dallas. So I'll always be appreciative of those years. But I'm excited for the Mavericks moving forward and the guys that they brought in.
Bought a $15 million house about 10 days ago. So
no kidding.
Mm-hmm.
So there's further evidence that there was no sort of hint that the trade was going to take place. Wonder if AD also put out for a new house in Los Angeles. So this was also Mahomes yesterday at Super Bowl Media Day.
I would hope that I would have had a chance to make the MLB in the big leagues. I don't know if that had been at a pitcher, outfield, probably a pitcher. But I think I made the right choice picking football.
Yeah, I think he made the right choice too. Of course, his dad Pat was a longtime major league pitcher in the bullpen for a lot of teams. I went back and looked. Patrick Mahomes did play baseball briefly for Texas Tech. He got one pitching appearance in 2015, and he got 2 plate appearances the same year. His ERA in college is infinity. He allowed 2 runs and never retired a batter. And his batting average in college is 0. He went 0 for 2 with a strikeout. So, yeah, he probably did make the right choice. But then again, maybe it would have been better if he'd had 10, 15 appearances. But there's a little trivia question for you. Patrick Mahomes' college ERA is infinity. Now, what kind of Hall of Famer is that? Stay with us. The second hour of Halftime coming up after this.
Now, for a limited time, employee pricing is back at the #1 fifth wheel dealer in Arkansas, Wheels RV. That's right, employee pricing is back, and you pay what our employees pay on a huge selection of select new and used RVs, plus some 2025 models included. You'll find all your favorite brands, such as Grand Design, Brinkley, Forest River, Vibe, Nobo, and Flagstaff. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV sold. Employee pricing exclusively at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV, located 5 miles west of I-49 in Tawnytown. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Sportsmith's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry.
What makes you unique from
other stores in the area?
I try to build a great relationship with all of my customers. I can do just anything from cars to food trucks to signs, banners. I do a lot of custom this and that. I'll say 100% of anybody come in here, they leave out happy. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Experience the excitement at Cherokee Casino in Roland, Oklahoma. Join us February 14th for the Valentine's Extravaganza, where you can win a share of $21,000 in hourly drawings from 5 to 11 p.m. Plus, enjoy a special performance by Sarah Evans at Lee Creek Tavern. Every Saturday in February, take your shot at $15,000 in hourly drawings. Don't miss the big game on February 9th, then try your luck on the casino floor. The fun never stops at Cherokee Casino in Roland, Oklahoma. Come play today.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, an increase in the cloud cover. High temperatures in the upper 50s north, upper 60s south. A chance of a few passing showers tonight. Overnight lows in the 50s. And then a chance of showers, possibly a rumble of thunder on Wednesday. High temperatures in the low to mid 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Sportsman.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'd like to take an opportunity. Woo! Go blow the whistle.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that's the perspective. Ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they for one racerback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
1, 2, 3. Heard it.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
We'll start to get in with some of our guests. Coming up in the next segment, we'll have Alyssa Orange, Pig Trail Nation, 15 minutes. Matt Jones from Hogs Illustrated, Whole Hog Sports Democrat Gazette, 1:15. Got Matt in for Bill King today. I was listening to Bill's show this morning, and it was, I don't know how he made it through 3 hours. I really don't know how he did. I felt a little bit of a tickle in my throat, Matt, last night, wrapping up the women's basketball broadcast. But I'm feeling really good today. Like, there's no sore throat or anything. At a moment where I was starting to get worried about it, that I was about to catch a cold. That's what Bill's got going on. I mean, I didn't listen yesterday to him, but today he said he sounded worse yesterday, but somehow he fought through 3 hours. I don't know how he could pull it because it just sounded like this. Very monotone, dude. Couldn't get into the real deepness of his voice. I saw Colin Coward's got the same thing going on. He had to just leave his show in the middle of it recently. So if there's one thing I can't deal with this time of the year, because it's almost crossover season with baseball 10 days away, is a cold. So I mean, you want to test the jinx theory here, because I haven't caught a cold. Like my voice was a little bit scratchy maybe a month and a half ago, but that went away. That was just like a pitcher losing his fastball, like dead arm syndrome. I wasn't sick or anything. It came back. Can't get sick this time of the year, and I'm lucky. Like, I don't catch a cold very often. I don't get sick very often. When I do get sick, and it's every other year or so, I'm about as sick as a dog for like 3 or 4 days, but then it's gone, and it doesn't come back again. But I felt for Bill. It's like, I could imagine what it must feel like trying to play professional football if you're under the weather, if you got a cold or you don't have a voice and you can't communicate very well. Radio, whispering on the air doesn't work very much.
Warrior, man. He's a warrior. Yeah, it's going around. I think Oklahoma has the #1 cases out of any state in America with cases of the flu and cold and stuff. So we're right. I mean, it's right here. It's don't you just want to kind of excuse me? Don't you just want to kind of get it so you can get it over with and then get back healthy again?
No, I don't want to get
anything.
anything.
You know, it's inevitable. It's inevitable.
I hope it's not. I can't do it. I can't get sick. I really can't. There's too many games to call over the next like 6 months. 6 months, probably more like let's say 5 months. Let's just throw it out. I've reserved the entire month of June for baseball. I haven't made any plans at all for June. No concerts, no vacations, no going anywhere with kids. Just reserve that whole month of June to not get sick either. So stay with me here, everybody, and just send me your, some mental vitamin C as we go throughout here. 877-377-6963 to get with us on halftime. I've got a couple of texts in here, and I think we brought this up. I think it was 2 years ago, before the first of these 3 Super Bowls in a row that the Chiefs have made, that Pat Mahomes, the pitcher, the Major League pitcher, was a Razorback basketball and baseball recruit. He was recruited to one of Nolan's recruiting classes. JT in Hot Springs reminding us about this. He was part of the signing class with Lee Mayberry, Todd Day, Big O, and Daryl Hawkins. And Dave Jordan recruited him to baseball as well. So he could have been a 2-sport guy, Matt. And who knows what would have happened if Pat Mahomes Sr. would have taken up at Arkansas. Maybe Patrick Mahomes would have been a Razorback. And the other thing too is, I'm sure Pat Mahomes will be at the Super Bowl, but he might want to not have a drink while he's there. I know he's had some issues with DUIs. Yeah. Bourbon might kill everything, BE. He texted in about that, but it's never the right idea to have too much bourbon before you go on the air.
Get you a driver, Mr. Pat Mahomes.
That could sit about.
Get you a hottie toddy. Get you a clove with some local honey and get you a
little cinnamon in there.
Yeah, whatever, however you want it. It's yours, and then get you something. But that's the Irish believe in that, anyways.
I love it. It's like you're breaking out the old Division II, NCAA Division II slogan, which was "Make it yours." That one always cracked me up. I don't know what it is now, but the Division II slogan used to be "Make it yours," and it felt like what is this? Is this an NCAA division or is it a Burger King? Like that's a fast food slogan.
The Division II slogan should be, "Don't worry, you'll get this year back by the NCAA when you go to Division I." Maybe that's too long of a slogan, but that's hey, come here and work your craft, because when you go to Division I, you can be a freshman again.
That's right. Division II. We're not D1. You can play D1 after this.
You can play here for 12 years before you go.
And sooner or later, then the next thing you know, it's professional anything. Charlie's here. Hi, Charlie. Charlie could be a driver. Spend so much time in the car on the phone with us. What's going on, Charlie? How are you?
Man, what's up? Yeah, Phil, what's crazy is I hate to even do this, man. It's not funny. I got diagnosed with the flu this morning. But let me tell you, I'm not passing it through the phone or anything, Phil. Calm down. It's okay. It's not coming through over there. I promise. This is not like Matt just scared the heck out of me just a minute ago. He answered the phone and then C-Unit came on there. Matt, if you want to scare anybody or intimidate them when you call, bro, just answer like that. That real deep voice that you had, I didn't know who I was talking to. Scared the heck out of me.
It was Christian with a really bad cold.
Yeah, man, it was good, but no, Phil, let me tell you, the flu I had last year, and there's 2 different types, was worse than this year to me, because I don't know. I guess it depends on what type you had, and the one I had last year lasted for like a week and a half. This one, I started feeling it yesterday, and I'm like already starting to feel better. So hopefully, if you do get it, I'm not wishing that on anybody on here. That's the type that I got, if that makes any sense. But it's not fun. But I'm at work with this, because I'm allowed to work with a mask. The tuna works no matter what. Unless they force me to go home, I ain't going home, because I don't like missing work. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, we forced everybody to work at ESPN Arkansas too. Matt doesn't realize this, but Christian has the flu right now. I haven't seen Matt run that fast since he was a player.
Matt was a dog. But that's the thing. I was thinking about this too. I was watching some podcasts yesterday about the whole Luka thing, and I do want to say this about this. I think that there is something to be said about Luka. You know, yes, I get it. I think the whole idea, and I'm sure you guys have touched on it, this whole conditioning thing with Luka, right? And he's a little bit, you know, pudgy or whatever it is. But you know what? If he's healthy and when the lights are bright, he's the only other player in NBA history, by the way, guys, to average at least 30 points per game in the playoffs. The dude is a freaking stud. So if he's out there, I don't care if he drinks 2 pitchers of beer before he goes and plays. That's the way I feel about it.
The thing is, though, and just to look at it, and stay with us here, Charles, just to try to play devil's advocate and look at it from Nico Harrison's perspective.
Sides, yeah.
Is you really never know when the precipitous drop-off occurs, right? Like the Cardinals parted ways with Albert Pujols at the exact right time. They didn't pay him all the money the Angels did, and hey, they ended up winning world championships without him. You know, sometimes you have a sense that could be the thing that happens, or that the money that you're about to spend on somebody, which I know Luka was eligible for the Supermax contract, he might not be worth that moving forward if you need somebody to actually be on the floor and be what he is now or even better. And, you know, maybe conditioning was always a thing that would end up being the thing that they're, you know, bumping up their head against. But, you know, at 26 years old, if you have a problem conditioning, sooner or later I feel like that catches up to you. You can, the athletic ability and the idea that your 26-year-old joints and bones can handle your lack of conditioning now, that doesn't mean that your body can handle that 2 or 3 years later. So, I mean, again, it's a risk that Dallas is taking by making this decision, by trying to get ahead of it. Because what if his body doesn't fall apart? What if he takes this as an opportunity to do something about the conditioning? Or what if he's just a guy that's able to carry a little bit of extra weight on his body and play well no matter what?
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say too, Phil, is like, because to play devil's advocate the other way, but you also traded for a guy that is 32 and has injuries too. So, and if for Dallas to be okay, for this to work out for Dallas, in my opinion, for them not to get like almost, you know, everybody's already mad at them, but they need to win a championship in the next 2 years, because Kyrie's gonna be a free agent this summer, and then AD's older with also an injury history, and they also question like his conditioning at times. So that's my thing about it. Now, I do think the Mavs will be great defensively with this if they can all get out there and stay healthy. For the Lakers, this idea, though, Matt, I want you to, because you touched on this a little bit yesterday. I'm hearing people throw out this narrative that LeBron and Luka cannot play together. I think that's utterly ridiculous. I don't know where people come up with some of this stuff. They said the same thing about Luka and Kyrie when they got together, because they're both ball dominant. Well, LeBron has started to get off the ball more, and you have Austin Reeves too, who can also be on the ball. LeBron is fine with being off the ball at this point in his career, so I'm not buying that narrative. Anyways, y'all have a good one.
Talent wants to play with talent. LeBron is more magic than Jordan, the way he sees the game. I mean, he's going to kind of be in this Karl Malone role, like playing a power forward. He just added an extra year to, you know, being able to play if he wants to play. Yeah, I heard that narrative, and then the other one that this trade makes the Lakers one of the favorites in the West. It's like, I mean, the Mavericks one of the favorites in the West, and I'm like, what are y'all looking at? Like, y'all are supposed to be like NBA pundits or whatever that really study this stuff, and y'all think this trade just helps the Mavericks? Like, get out of here.
Do you feel like the New York Giants viewed Saquon Barkley maybe a little bit of the same way? Not a lack of conditioning, but that an injury history means that this player is not worth what he thinks he's worth. You take a risk by not trying to re-sign Saquon Barkley. And it turned out that risk blew up in their faces. Big time, at least for this year it did. I mean, it's the same idea. It's the only difference is the conditioning aspect of it. Well, Luka could end up being hurt for 2 or 3 months again next year with the Lakers. You know, I mean, I guess it's all a matter of you got to have him available for the playoffs, and then, you know, do what you can do in the playoffs. But I think that's how the Giants must have viewed Barkley. Too many injuries, you know, something that we can't spend the money on that position that he wants us to. And I know, you know, Luka, we're talking different with Supermax compared to what a running back is going to be making in the NFL. but that was a risk the Giants took, a huge risk, and it did not work at all for them, at all. Who knows if it'll work out for the Mavs, but I don't think that this season is the season that's going to be the one that details whether or not it worked out for them.
I would have traded LeBron and kept Anthony Davis. Somebody who's going to fall off a cliff the next is LeBron. I mean, the dude's 41 years old. Talking about, and what he's doing is unbelievable. To quote your boy, Rick, it's like nobody's done what LeBron's done, and when it happens, it'll happen, and it'll be in the playoffs, or you just don't know when it happens, but I don't. What do you think? LeBron has 2 years maximum left, where he can play 28 minutes a night?
At that age, but also look like the
playoff ball's a little bit. It's more of a grind, Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mental and emotional and physical. I thought this trade felt a little also like, and I wasn't alive for it, and I don't know how many of our listeners were, but Frank Robinson, Hall of Fame outfielder, traded by Cincinnati at the age of 29 to Baltimore at age 65 in the offseason because the Reds thought he was over the hill. They thought he was over the hill. He ended up winning a Triple Crown with Baltimore the very next year. He's an MVP, ends up winning a World Series or two with Baltimore, and he was not over the hill. They tried to get ahead of what they thought would be a precipitous drop-off. The Reds, it was not. The Orioles ended up winning that trade, and it's, a forever cast in movie history in Bull Durham with the Milt Pappas for Frank Robinson trade, for crying out loud, in which it blew up in the Reds' faces.
It's the reason Robert Kraft said he fired Bill Belichick, was because they were trying to get ahead of it, and they traded Brady to the Buccaneers, and he wins another Super Bowl. And he said, I thought you said that he was done, that he couldn't win another Super Bowl. That's kind of where the beginning of the end was there.
Let's take a quick call from Cecil, then we'll visit with Alyssa Orange. Cecil, we're kind of up against the break. It's good to hear from you, though. What's going on?
Oh, well, I need some time, Phil. I'm good. How y'all doing? Hey, let me say this quick. LeBron James is the truth. Don't nobody know how long he's going to play, because if you would have said this 5 or 6 years ago, they would say, oh, he'll be done at 38, or he'll be done at 37, or he'll be done at 40, or he'll be done at 39. LeBron he takes good care of his body. He's the greatest basketball player playing the game. Actually, he's the front runner for me. I mean, that Michael Jordan stuff is out the window, man. The man doing some amazing things. Every time he touched the ball, it's a record. Every time he passed the ball, it's a record. It's going to be very hard to catch up with him now. And he can play with anybody. LeBron, every team LeBron has went to, he done made every player better. He won a championship in Cleveland with some generic players, basically. He never played with no superstars, basically, until he went to Miami. I mean, but he went there and won.
I got to say, Kyrie, that shot Kyrie hit in the finals was huge. I think he was a superstar, don't you think?
Yes. Yeah. The thing about Kyrie was, because I've been following LeBron since day one, and I saw this video on the plane. One of the players was recording it, and LeBron treated him like a little brother, and he used to play with him a lot, and Kyrie didn't like that. He didn't like that. So I think that was a big reason the split went on too, though. But again, LeBron is not greedy. Somebody told me LeBron can't shoot. LeBron can shoot all over the court. He's great. He's dominant, and he's not greedy. He's going to get the ball up. And Luka averages almost a triple-double, And the thing about that, AD was 31 years old, so he still got a lot in his tank, maybe 4 or 5, maybe 5 years. I'd say 5. Luka got 10 or more. All he does is shoot. So that's 28 points when every time LeBron throwing the ball, every other time he making a shot. And I think they're going to be. I think both sides are going to be good. Kyrie and AD going to play good together too. Dallas got a pretty good team. I don't know what's up with our homeboy Gafford though. I don't know how they're going to work that out. But Gafford's really a power forward. Really, that's what he is. Do you?
I think they'll play good together. I like both of them. Like what you're talking about, Cecil. With LeBron, you're right. LeBron can play with anybody. Gafford's a baller, man. I like Gafford. I think him and AD, you put them at the 5 and 4, man. That's a mismatch.
Good to hear from you, Cecil. Thank you very much. We'll break in a moment. Remember about the Clay Maxey Auto Group, whose promise is providing a level of service that maximizes your drive at every step in your car ownership experience. They have competitive, transparent pricing, reliable, consistent repairs from factory-trained technicians, always going beyond the sale, ensuring a seamless, enjoyable, and tailored experience to fit your vehicle needs. That's the Clay Maxey Auto Group, locations in Harrison, Mountain Home, Clinton, and Berryville, and ClayMaxeyAutoGroup.com. Stay with us. More Halftime with Alyssa Orange from Pig Trail Nation right after this.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
This is Halftime.
Courtside with Portsmouth Public Schools.
Pretty exciting. First time.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football to NBA, college basketball to NHL and UFC, BetOnline is your number one sports betting source for the new year. From every touchdown to three-pointer and hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Eat Lux your way with the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. The $5 Classic box is iconic all over. The $7 Supreme box has your decadent favorites and then some. The $9 Discovery box introduces you to your newest obsession, like cheesy dipping burritos. Introducing the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu, only at Taco Bell.
That's code TRAVEL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Well, I knocked to a window to leave her a note. Will you come meet me at the back of the grove? All the trees were in bloom. That's me smelling the air. We were trembling together. We were young, we were scared, yeah. True love.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
I think she's got just one more day in the States before heading back over the pond, where she gets to spend quite a bit of time now on nearly an annual basis. Sports director Alyssa Orange with us here from Pig Trail Nation. What's up, Alyssa? Where are you headed tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm headed to Italy tomorrow. Yes, very excited. 10-day trip over there, flying into Venice, then driving up to Cortina, over to Milan, and spending some time there. May or may not be doing a year-out trip from the Winter Olympics. Wink, wink, wink.
Wow, that's fun. So it was France this year, last year, Italy this year. Does that mean Greece is coming up in 2026 and maybe Bosnia in 2027? You might just keep going farther east until you really don't want to go any farther east than that?
Yeah, hey, my sister and my brother-in-law went to Slovenia and said it was amazing.
Nice.
People have told me that Croatia is really nice, so adding them all to the list.
Croatian food is some of my favorite food. That's for sure. And you got Series A's going. There's so many soccer games, whatever town you want to go to, but I don't know if that's on your list.
Yeah, well, we're going to try to do as much as we can. We're going to be NBC's got an itinerary for us, but we're going to be trying to just kind of get as much as we can over there. So if I can hit up a soccer game,
Juventus, there's a couple Americans that you'll be able to see in the World Cup. They play for Juventus. They're in Turin, but I don't know where they'll be. But if you get a chance to see them, that would be a good one.
Okay. All right, I'm going to look up some schedules for you, Matt.
And their nickname is the Old Lady. So I mean, they're my favorite. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So wait, what city are the Winter Olympics in next year?
In Milan and Cortina.
Okay.
So they're going to split because that's about 5 hours between the two. And so they'll have, they're super spread out. There's going to be a couple events in little towns between the two cities as well. But a lot of, obviously, your alpine skiing, bobsledding, all of those things are going to be up in the mountains. And then you're going to have a little bit more of your curling and ice skating and such in Milan.
So there really won't be much of a local bent to it, like you were able to cover some Razorbacks at the Summer Olympics this last year. Not too many Razorbacks at the Winter Olympics.
No, I don't think so. I don't know how many Arkansans are going to be in the Winter Olympics, but we're going to try and figure that out.
Well, cool.
Hey, so I guess you won't be here, but your spirit will be with this basketball team going to Austin on Wednesday, and then you come back home for a couple. Where do we stand now? How are we feeling? There's 2 wins now. It does feel like if we can find a way to go on the road and get one, maybe we have a little momentum. The starters played amazing. Best game that I think that this team has played as far as complete game on the year. Something to build on, or is it a one-off thing?
No, I really think it's something to build on, but they've got to do it the right way because I think you're right. Best game that they've played, being able to put together what they did on the road and get the win in Rupp. But I think a lot of it had to do with the motivation, the emotions, and funneling those emotions in the right way. That's specifically DJ Wagner, Adu Thiero, and Zvonimir Visic were able to do, and then get their teammates to rally behind them because how much that game meant to them. Now you got to go on to Texas, into Austin, and you're not going to be in that same environment. So can you kind of funnel that energy and the momentum yourself? You're not feeding off this crowd that has been waiting for weeks for you guys to come into their arena. Can you find it within yourself? And that's the one thing that we've always asked about this team. Where is that internal motivation coming from? So can they pull from what they did on Saturday and take it down to Austin with them and get a win on the road? Because you've got to start getting wins. I think if you were to look at where they are right now with that win over Kentucky, can you go 5-5 and still make the NCAA tournament? Can you go 4-6 in this final stretch and make the NCAA tournament? Well, you got to get something going, and it's a lot easier to stack wins on wins once you get that momentum going. So you've got to find a way to say, okay, now we know how to win a basketball game, right? You're not making the same mistakes you're making against Oklahoma. Can we put together a full game like they did on the road in Kentucky and take it to Austin and see what happens?
Well, you're getting production from Big Z, and I think that's a huge aspect of at least winning 2 of the last 3 and hopefully moving forward with some more victories. And I think the motivation strictly now is, hey, we'd like to keep playing into March because you got another, I think it's a month and 4 days until the regular season ends. So there's just not a lot of basketball left, and I'm assuming these guys like to play a lot of basketball. In order for that to happen, look, they're going to have contributions from both Trevin Brazile and Jonas Aidoo. Maybe not in the same game all the time, but on a every once in a while. It's just you need something from those two because I don't know how often Z will be on the court for 25 minutes a game.
Yeah.
And Aidoo just, flat out was a 0 against Kentucky. Brazile has been, it looked like he was coming around in December and January. It's a different thing playing against SEC teams. Maybe he's not the same guy still from that ACL injury a couple years ago. That's a story that's stands the test of time. But they're going to have something from both of those guys in this next month.
Yeah, they are. And you're absolutely right because, now Big Z is kind of developed into that centerpiece of their post-game play, and you had hoped for a long time that it was going to be Jonas Aidoo. We just don't know what's going on with him. And then Trevin Brazile, I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. I want to see him be more physical. I want to see him be more aggressive. But you're right. It could very much be that ACL injury just makes him a little more timid, and he just isn't the same basketball player. But you're not going to be able to play a Vicic that long. You've got to be able to have one of those guys come in. And I would like it to be Jonas Aidoo. I just don't know how many more times you continue to say, okay, go in there and give us some production, and then he doesn't, and then you keep going back to it, which stinks, because you really had some high hopes for him. But I think if I had to put money on it, Trevin Brazile has to be the guy of the two that's going to come in and pick up on that physicality that we know that he has. We just haven't seen it. But if I got to put money on one or the other, I'm putting it on Trevin Brazile.
Yeah, there's an interesting question here from JT on the text line at 877-377-6963. Because of Arkansas's inability to score consistently leading up to the Kentucky game, there's this thought, well, you got to slow the game down. Plus, you don't have a deep bench, so getting into a back and forth and running the floor might not be the direction to go. But that's how they played against Kentucky. And it looked like they played like that in a very confident way, free and easy. And I think one of the main reasons that they beat UK wasn't just outside shooting. It was beating Kentucky down the court. Steals, turnovers, rebounds. They just beat them down the court. They look comfortable in that role. So hopefully they can get the tempo going again, because I didn't really think that would be the way to go. And that also goes to the idea of, hopefully this 89-point performance at Rupp is not a one-off thing.
Right. And I also think, too, as silly as this might sound, and it kind of feels weird saying it, it's almost like if they play fast like that, if they can play where your defense is turning into offense and you've got a lot more fast breaks and you're just taking the basketball and you're going down and you're scoring and you're not spending so much of the shot clock on your side of the basket, of the court, it's almost like they overthink it when they do that. Does that make sense? It's like, don't even give them time to think about the offense. Just go create offense. And sometimes when they're down, the shot clock is winding down, and they've got, it's almost things are forced or things are rushed, or it just feels like they're not in sync, right? That's where mistakes happen. Just go play basketball, go be free, and if it means playing fast, play fast. I feel like that sounds a little silly to say, but that's what I saw against Kentucky.
So how is it you're going to watch the Super Bowl in Italy? What's the time differential? How are you going to pull this off? Because I'm sure there'll be some Italian broadcast. Maybe you want to listen to that.
Yeah. I haven't done the time difference yet. I think Paris was 6
about
hours.
6 to 7 hours. Yeah, it's be about
this
midnight.
one is probably about 7 or 8 hours. Yeah. So I don't really know how we're going to do that. I haven't. I'm sure that my travel companions and I will figure that out and find it somewhere, even if it's a replay the next morning at breakfast. I could do Super Bowl and eggs. I'd be cool with that.
Hey, it wouldn't be that bad at all. Now I've got an idea for what I can make, because I'll be at the Georgia game in the morning when we play in Athens next Sunday, and it's not like I'll be able to make anything. Just a quick scrambled eggs, some omelets.
There you go.
That could work for us. Yes, good idea.
Super Bowl and eggs.
Thank you very much for that idea. Enjoy the trip. We'll miss you next week.
Thank you.
We get you in a couple weeks, or when's the next time?
Couple weeks. What is that? The 18th?
Yeah. Be baseball. We'll be in baseball season by then.
Oh my! I'm gonna miss opening weekend, y'all. I don't want to talk about it.
Well, don't worry about it.
I'll be fine.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's all right. Alyssa, thanks for coming on, and safe travels.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Always good to talk with Alyssa Orange, Sports Director, Pig Trail Nation, and World Traveler Extraordinaire. Make your plans to attend the Northwest Arkansas Boat and Outdoor Expo. It starts this Thursday going through Sunday at the Rogers Convention Center. Into fishing, kayaking, or just soaking up outdoor vibes, this event has it all. Get to meet all the vendors, get a look at all the latest gear, and grab some great tips for your next adventure. It's the Northwest Arkansas Boat and Outdoor Adventure Expo. It's this Friday through Sunday at the Rogers Convention Center. Now stay with us. Halftime returns right after the break.
This is Halftime.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, Hims can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
This is Halftime.
All right, let's break someone's clavicle on 3. 1, 2, 3. Break someone's clavicle. Hit the field. Let's go. Move it.
Experience the excitement at Cherokee Casino in Roland, Oklahoma. Join us February 14th for the Valentine's Extravaganza, where you can win a share of $21,000 in hourly drawings from 5 to 11 p.m. Plus, enjoy a special performance by Sarah Evans at Lee Creek Tavern. Every Saturday in February, take your shot at $15,000 in hourly drawings. Don't miss the big game on February 9th, then try your luck on
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football to NBA, college basketball to NHL and UFC, BetOnline is your number one sports betting source for the new year. From every touchdown to three-pointer and hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Eat Lux your way with the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. The $5 classic box is iconic all over. The $7 Supreme box has your decadent favorites and then some. The $9 Discovery box introduces you to your newest obsession, like cheesy dipping burritos. Introducing the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu, only at Taco Bell.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN.
Leaving home out on the road, I've been down before. Riding along on this big old jet plane, I've been thinking about my home. But my love light seems so far away, and I feel like it's all been done. Somebody's trying to make me stay, you know I got to be moving on.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Oh, I see the new version of MLB The Show video game is going to have part of the road to the show, which used to just be minor leagues. They're going to have college ball on that as well. You could be the Razorbacks. You could actually play at the ballpark in Omaha. There it is. I see a video of it. That looks really cool. I don't know if there'll ever be there used to be a college baseball video game. Nobody really talks about that very much because it's all about college football, EA Sports. But there used to be a baseball video game. Maybe they'll bring that back at some point. Just not yet. And that does look pretty cool. There it is. It's Charles Schwab Field. Hopefully the Hogs will be playing there later on this year. Had their first Swatters Club yesterday at the Fayetteville Library, which is the new place to hold Swatters Club, and sounds like it went really, really well, so good to know about that. I had to talk about something briefly because we get some texts about this on the text line, some tweets about it as well. With the upcoming season starting Friday next week, today would have been the day that we would have released the Bases Loaded podcast that Bubba Carpenter and I did the last 2 years. There will not be a Bases Loaded podcast this upcoming season. And I just want to make it clear that that's a decision that I had. It was my idea to start the podcast. I had a lot of fun doing it. I thought it sounded really good. I thought it was unique comparatively to the rest of, I think, the podcasts that cover anything Arkansas and really anything that covered college baseball. It's just those. It took a full day to put the thing together. It would be a Monday, and Monday is truly the only day of the week that there is never a college baseball game. Now, of course, we do have one the first Monday of the week, or the first Monday of the season, but I think that'll be the only Monday game that we play all year. And it's just started to take up too much time. There would be the recording session with Bubba in the morning, then there'd be halftime up until 2. There's editing the podcast, talking with the player, editing that down, put it all together. Then there's all the other stuff that try to do on a Monday, try to put life together, essentially, do laundry, sit around with my kids a little bit and actually look at them and know what they look like and talk about what's going on in their lives. Because Monday sometimes is the only day of the week I get a chance to see them during baseball season. So it was something I started thinking about towards the end of last season. I also think that I think as productive as it was to put the Bases Loaded podcast together, I think it took away from some of the time I had to prep for the midweek games. And I'm kind of a stickler on making sure I'm ready for those games. And with the drive in between where I live and Baum, it turned out to be a little bit too much. So I've had a lot of people text in, hear about it, waiting for that first Bases Loaded podcast episode on Twitter too. There won't be a Bases Loaded podcast this next season. It doesn't mean Bubba and I are not getting along. We get along just as well as we always did. And we're going to have just as much fun on the radio broadcast as ever. It's just we won't be putting it on a podcast once a week. But who knows, in the future, if time eventually freeze somehow, or we find a way to have 26 hours in a day instead of 24, maybe we can find a way to pull that thing off. 877-377-6963 to get with us here on halftime. There is a press conference. I think it might have been complete by now. Luka Doncic is being introduced. He was already introduced. And here's one thing he had to say about the trade.
I'm just excited, to be here to start this new journey. And obviously, at some point I knew this was going to happen. But I would say I always take the high road. I had my amazing moments in Dallas with all my teammates, coaches, and the most importantly, the fans, they always supported me. And it was an amazing journey.
He says he felt like this was going to happen sooner or later. Now, I can only imagine what the relationship between Doncic and the front office was like. And now I think he had a really close relationship with Mark Cuban, who's not involved in any of the basketball decisions anymore. But, Matt, he's right there saying, I thought this would happen. Maybe he didn't think it would happen when it did happen, but someone that didn't expect that he would finish his career with the Mavs. And maybe he thought it would happen in the offseason since there's supposed to be a Supermax contract, but now he's not eligible for one.
The Lakers did it again, huh? I mean, it's we'll see how this story unfolds and how it all goes. But Anthony Davis is getting 18% more money on his contract. Luka's losing money. I mean, you talk about living in California, LA, to living in Dallas. That pays your agent, your publicist, that pays for all your Uber drives that whole year. I mean, you're paying a lot more tax money in LA than you are in Dallas.
It's a glitzy franchise too, but it also comes with expectations. You are not an all-star player, and I know Luka's more than just an all-star player. You're not going there just to revive the franchise. You don't go to the Lakers to just have a good regular season or win a couple of series in the postseason. That's a franchise like the Yankees, where it's expected that you're winning a championship during your time there. And as far as I can think, all the great Lakers did win a championship. I think Jerry West, didn't he win one as a player, then all those as an executive? Kareem, Wilt, Magic, Kobe, Shaq, all of them. They all won championships. So maybe that's next there. Even LeBron. LeBron has won one. I don't know if we remember it all that much. But
Jason Kidd was an assistant on that 2020 team that the Lakers won it. So he knows AD really well. So I think that has something to do with the trade, this fact that they feel comfortable with what AD has for the next couple of years.
877-377-6963 to get with us. It is Taco Tuesday today at Joe's Grill and Cantina, so that means all day long, dine-in only. You get a $1 crispy beef or chicken tacos. Pork carnita tacos, $2.95. Pork belly or brisket tacos are $3.95. That's all day long, dine-in only. Joe's Grill and Cantina today at 3400 South 74th in Fort Smith, right across from Harps. joesfortsmith.com to get a look at the menu and to put an order in online. Back to wrap up the second hour of halftime after this break.
Show me the money. This is halftime.
Experience the excitement at Cherokee Casino in Roland, Oklahoma. Join us February 14th for the Valentine's Extravaganza, where you can win a share of $21,000 in hourly drawings from 5 to 11 p.m. Plus, enjoy a special performance by Sarah Evans at Lee Creek Tavern. Every Saturday in February, take your shot at $15,000 in hourly drawings. Don't miss the big game on February 9th, then try your luck on the casino floor. The fun never stops at Cherokee Casino in Roland, Oklahoma. Come play today.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Transform your yard work game with Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Experts and nearly 200,000 homeowners rave about Ego's performance. Gas power without the noise, fuss, or fumes. Their patented 56-volt arc lithium battery delivers top-notch torque and fits all 90-plus Ego tools. Power through yard work and tailgates with the same battery. Plus, enjoy Ego innovations like the first full-flat lawnmower and weatherproof equipment. Discover more at egopowerplus.com.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Well, it's a marvelous night for a moon dance with the stars up above in your eyes. A fantabulous night to make romance neath the cover of October skies. You know the leaves on the trees are falling to the sound of the breezes that blow. You know I'm trying to please to the calling of your heartstrings that play soft and low. You know the night's magic seems to whisper. You know the soft moonlight seems to shine. You blush.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Just wanted to add something to ending the Bases Loaded podcast. We're going to do a lot of college baseball talk on this show here. We'll still have James Teague from the Teague Law Firm every Friday, former Razorback pitcher. In fact, we've got his first segment coming up this Friday. Working on getting Bubba Carpenter in for a weekly segment as well. So, you know, that's just 2 days a week. And, you know, the other 3 days a week, once baseball season starts, it'll be pretty heavy into college baseball for very, very good reason. This show right here would be the place for you to do it. 877-377-6963 to get with us here on halftime today. Let's see, we got a couple of Super Bowl anniversaries. Super Bowl 41, that was Peyton Manning's first Super Bowl win. The only win in the Super Bowl for the Indianapolis Colts. They do have one championship in Baltimore. Beat the Bears 29-17. That was the only Super Bowl where the opening kickoff was returned for a touchdown. Devin Hester, 92 yards. Peyton Manning was MVP. Billy Joel sang the anthem. Dan Marino and Norma Hunt, the coin toss. Maybe the greatest halftime show ever. Prince, Purple Rain, In the Rain in Miami. That was before they put a roof over the stadium and called it Hard Rock. Still, now it'd be different. I think, you know, Prince, if he was there, he wouldn't have the rain falling all over him. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms with the telecast. And that was also Tony Dungy's Super Bowl championship with Indianapolis. The other Super Bowl that occurred today, 52, Eagles 41, Patriots 33. Think Philly Special and Nick Foles at Minneapolis' U.S. Bank Stadium. Foles would go in that category, Matt, along with Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfer. Just they'll end up being the quarterbacks that you kind of forget that they won a Super Bowl, maybe.
Well, Phil Simms is one of those guys.
Yep. That's exactly right. We'll go into the third hour of halftime in just a moment, and we'll speak with Matt Jones from Whole Hog Sports, Hogs Illustrated, about Arkansas baseball. Got some notes to get to as well with that, and much more on this Luka Doncic trade, Arkansas baseball, and got some season ticket drama going on in Alabama right now. Stay with us. Halftime returns for hour number 3 right after this.
Experience the excitement at Cherokee Casino in Roland, Oklahoma. Join us February 14th for the Valentine's Extravaganza, where you can win a share of $21,000 in hourly drawings from 5 to 11 p.m. Plus, enjoy a special performance by Sarah Evans at Lee Creek Tavern. Every Saturday in February, take your shot at $15,000 in hourly drawings. Don't miss the big game on February 9th, then try your luck on the casino floor. The fun never stops at Cherokee Casino in Roland, Oklahoma. Come play today.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch & Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Walk-Ons is always a win. Whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner, Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Hi, this is Truett Tollett with WT Equipment. We're here to help you get ready for the year ahead. Take advantage of our small engine shop special. Just $129 to service your mower or handheld equipment, any brand. Don't wait, this offer ends February 28th. While you're here, check out New Holland Tractors, Bobcat Equipment, and more. Tough, reliable, and ready to work as hard as you do. Visit any of our locations or online at WTEquip.com. WT Equipment. Equip your future. Elevate your potential.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, an increase in the cloud cover. High temperatures in the upper 50s north, upper 60s south. A chance of a few passing showers tonight. Overnight lows in the 50s. And then a chance of showers, possibly a rumble of thunder on Wednesday. High temperatures in the low to mid 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grant Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936.
Here's Jones on a keeper. Out over the 40 to midfield. Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
3-2 pitch. He struck him out. Got him looking. Hagen Smith has tied the school record with 17 strikeouts, but he's done it in 6 dominating innings. Peyton Holt in center field makes the catch. Runners don't try to score. Zonet's coming home. He throws to third. Sprague launch fires to the plate. They got him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Back on halftime. It is the third and final hour of our show. It is 1 minute after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You're listening to ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. I'm Phil Elson, my partner Matt Jones, Christian Johnston producing, and the other Matt Jones from Whole Hog Sports, Hogs Illustrated, Democrat Gazette, joining us about 15 minutes. We'll get into the baseball team and scrimmages coming up this week. I know Matt did some digging in the FOIA and has found out that Arkansas opens next year, not at home, but at the Ranger Stadium at Globe Life Field, and not just with 3 games over a weekend, but their first 4 games will be at Globe Life Field. So that'll be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, first weekend of the season, then a Tuesday. Matt reporting they're playing Tarleton State. So it's just, I think that's 4 years in a row that the baseball team is playing at the Ranger Stadium. You're not playing football there anymore at the Cowboys. And, now that Cal's the coach of Arkansas basketball, Matt, doesn't it feel like you're going to be playing some non-conference neutral site games on an annual basis? I think getting into American Airlines Arena again would make a lot of sense. Why not? Why not? You already had one game against Baylor there. You can play, I don't know if it'd be Baylor next year, but it could be one of the other Texas teams that's nearby.
what is it? Once every 4 years or once every 6 years, they go to Maui. So they went to Maui 3 years ago, I believe. So they're the basketball team as far as Cal. Yeah, that's for sure right there.
So Dallas continues to be a place to go watch Arkansas athletics, no matter what it is. Let's see. I've seen a report from AL.com's Michael Casagrande that Alabama is revoking season tickets to football when they see that, and everything is digitized now, so they can tell if you have scanned your ticket on your phone or if it's been scanned by somebody else or if you've transferred those tickets to someone else. And it sounds like they're revoking season tickets for fans who resell their tickets. I don't know if it's a matter of who it is that they resell those tickets to or if it's just a matter of reselling them all and not going to those games. You know, and I've got, I'm assuming it's just going to be different from an athletic department to a professional team. Like I've got a friend who has 2 sets of Steelers season tickets. He's got the seats that are right there near the field, like 5 rows up, 50-yard line, and then he's got the upper deck seats, which are the better seats to watch the game from. He sells the seats down below at such a profit that it basically buys his season tickets that he sits in for the game. Now, I don't know if that's something that Alabama's going to try to ban as far as that's concerned, but you know, I don't think that these season tickets were created so that those who purchase them can also make money off of them. But I also wonder if this is just trying to get at the ticket websites that can potentially mimic like they're a fan, but you know that those are just going to be resold anyway. So it might just not necessarily be an individual ticket holder or just a family of 3 or 4. It could be any of these websites that can resell tickets at a profit and make it look like you're actually buying the seat from the original seller, which isn't the case in here. And then Tennessee is adding another 6% onto their basketball season tickets. That's after they lopped on another 10% to their football tickets. And all this coming in at a time where I'd read briefly a piece about the Big Ten having meetings with private equity for an influx of money into one of the richest, if not the richest, of all of the college conferences. And I wonder if at some point the SEC may be also on that same path. The difference here is that the schools up north, like they have a lot more athletic programs. I think Ohio State has over 30. Michigan, all these schools they have on average, I don't think just more athletic programs than a lot of the SEC teams do, but I mean a lot more. So there's just, those are departments that are spending money on a lot of sports that they make $0 from, and it's all being paid for by football. In Arkansas, you got plenty of sports that, don't bring in money, just not as much as some of the others, and it goes along with scholarships and food and travel and everything that it goes to put a team together. But private equity, Matt, I would not have thought that the one of the richest, if not the richest, because I think the Big Ten may actually have a television contract, or all 3 of their contracts they put together may be worth a little bit more than the SEC. I wouldn't have thought that the Big Ten would have needed private equity, but it just kind of tells me that what they got going on right now in terms of revenue is not enough. I don't know if the SEC is in that boat, but it seems the Big Ten is. Otherwise, why are you meeting with private equity? That's about raising. You talk with private equity because there's some sort of large expenditure that you have to meet, or you're a money losing operation to the point where you got to have somebody step in as an investor. The difference here is that those private equity groups quite often end up taking over the business that they invest in. You can't be taking over athletic departments. These are not-for-profit organizations. But it's crazy to see where this has gone, man. I think you can draw a direct line between the Big Ten network, the SEC network, the creation of those networks, all the money that was funneled into those leagues from that. You saw the growth of the facilities. You saw, growth of Alston money. Now NIL dollars go into it. Crazy, crazy dollar figures now coming through from ESPN, CBS, NBC, Amazon, all of them, and it still isn't enough. It still isn't enough. And I don't even know what the dollar figure is that the Big Ten makes just for football alone, but it's not enough to run their athletics. Otherwise, why are they bringing in? Why are they even talking with private equity?
Yeah, back-to-back football national champions. I mean, you got the best receiver, some say, since, Larry Fitzgerald or Randy Moss there at Ohio State. Michigan, Ohio State, they getting it done. Maybe they're trying to get in front of it.
They must be trying to get in front of it, because where does some of this go to? Does it go to
you got
funding?
A receiver making $4.5 million,
right?
So it's
does it go to funding the football program, or does it go to funding tennis and track and crew and field hockey and ice hockey? And all ice hockey actually in some cases can fund itself. It's just these are not private businesses. These are it's not publicly traded or anything, but they're also not private businesses. They are they're part of universities. Universities are not, nobody makes a profit out of this. Private equity, what are you looking for when you put money in as a part of a private equity group to any business? You're looking for return on investment. That's money. That's profit. So does that mean that profit to an athletic department goes to the private equity group? Now we're talking about a real business and an owner of an athletic department in that case, in which now we're talking more about professional sports. That's when you're talking more about professional sports. If private equity becomes a major part of college sports, it's not college sports anymore. Yeah, I don't even know if you'd call it real professional sports at that point. I would have no idea what it is you're calling it. But there isn't anybody who spends on college athletics and worries about return on investment in terms of profit. The return on investment for you as a listener or as a fan, you give to Arkansas Edge, you give to, the Razorback Foundation and all of that. Yes, I mean, you're getting something for your dollar figure if you give to the foundation and buy tickets. But when you give to Edge, I feel like your return on investment is a successful program, wins, or, a deep run in March, or a College World Series visit. That's what you're looking for. You're not looking for money back. But the private equity folks, yeah, they may care about winning because winning will lead to more money for them, but they want profit off of their investment. That's what private equity exists for. Andy's Frozen Custard exists because you usually like to crave something sweet and delicious this time of the day, and Andy's has you covered with the greatest frozen treats around. You got the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday. Make sure that when you leave Andy's Frozen Custard today, you take home a pick 6. That's mixing and matching 6 of your favorite flavors. It is the perfect game time treat. Ask about Andy's Turtle Split. Andy's Frozen Custard with a whole banana covered with hot fudge and caramel cream and roasted pecans and topped with a cherry. You'll find that at all of Andy's locations. They're in Conway and East Oak Street, Dave Ward Drive. They're in Fort Smith on Rogers Avenue and in North Little Rock on JFK Boulevard. Andy's Frozen Custard, walk-up or drive-through, always ready to serve you. Matt Jones from the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, joining Halftime in just a moment.
I'll be back.
This is Halftime.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, Ty Richardson for JamMart. JamMart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. JamMart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero JamMart locations. And stop by any of the 6 JamMart locations in the area. JamMart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, Hims can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
I found my limo driver, Mr. Take us to the show. I've gonna make some plans for later on tonight. I'll find a little queen and I know I can treat her right. What's your name? What's your name?
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Matt Jones covers Arkansas athletics at Whole Hog Sports. Joining us here on Halftime. He's been heavy into baseball scrimmages over the weekend. I've seen him out there a few times. Matt, thanks for coming on today. What are you up to?
Well, Phil, I'm kind of in between. Just finished my podcast, but we just got our Hogs Illustrated baseball preview magazine today. I'm about to go drop those off over at the baseball offices. So it's this time of year is really fun for me because there is something going on. It feels like at about every second of the day.
Yeah, it's a lot of anticipation too. I don't know about you. I think some listeners feel like this. It doesn't feel like the days are 24 hours long. It feels like they're 36 hours long. And 10 days right now feels like it could be more like 20 days away. But the team's a lot of fun to watch. And right now it stands out to me more than anything is that it's a team that should be pretty difficult to score on. And I think I spoke with Matt Hobbs about this. It feels like you could put together a professional style pitching rotation because there are like 5, 6, maybe even 7 options for starters on the weekends, which puts, means there's some decisions to make potentially.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, really, I think there's 4 starter candidates realistically right now. Now, there could be others that develop into a candidate as the season goes on, but it's Gage Wood, Gabe Gackle, and I think Gabe is going to be the number 1 guy, and then you got Zach Root and Landon Vidalcy, the left-handers. I kind of get the sense, and I may be wrong about this, but it feels to me like it's Gabe and then Root and then either Wood or Vidalcy. And what's interesting about that is that Wood and Vidalcy are the 2 who I thought threw the best last week. Not to say the others threw poorly or anything, but they were both really efficient. Wood went through 4 innings, and Vidalcy went through 3 1/3. They were all on pitch counts of 50 last week, and so to get through 4 innings on 50 pitches is a pretty good accomplishment, especially this time of year for Gage. I thought he was probably, other than maybe Christian Fouch, most impressive pitcher that I saw period last week. And then, like I said, among the starters, he was the best. He looks like a different kind of pitcher than we've seen previously. And, he pitches to contact, and we've seen that work against him before in the past. We've seen him pitch to contact, and that contact will result in about 400-foot home runs. But it seems like he's keeping the ball down in the zone more. He is got more movement on his pitches, and he's just as confident as he's ever been. He's as strong as he's ever been. I was kind of joking with him the other day. He was pitching with his shirt tail tucked out. And I said, what was up with that? And he said, I think I need a bigger shirt. He's gotten so muscular that the shirts are just, he's about to rip out of him. Looks kind of like the Hulk. But I thought he looked really good. And I'll tell you what stood out to me just across the board pitching is that they're not walking a lot of batters. And you see a lot of walks this time of the year, or you can see a lot of walks, just because, it's the first time they've been facing live hitters in so long. But last weekend, I think they had 13 walks in 38 innings on the mound, and they had 39 strikeouts. And so those are really, really promising numbers, I think, at this time of year. They're filling up the strike zone. There's a player here and there who's struggling with command, but on the whole, and really from the pitchers who you expect to pitch in prominent roles early, they look real good.
I think, we went into last season expecting that pitching would be the number 1 aspect of the team. And at the end of the season, it turned out it was basically Hagen Smith and Christian Fouch, and McIntyre could give you a good performance every once in a while. Pitching just kind of fell apart a little bit at the end of the season. I'm seeing a team that's got more experience right now on the mound. Now, admittedly, some of the freshmen they have, Gibbler, Carson Wiggins, may have some of the most lightning arms on the team, but it's a team that's got more experience. But why, last year we expected starting pitching would be a big strength of the team with Brady Tigert, with Mason Molina, and it turned out that wasn't the case. Your best starter and really the only guy that you could really count on all throughout the season was Hagen Smith. So why going into this season should we feel differently?
Well, I don't know if you should feel any differently. It's all about staying healthy and staying healthy at, the positions where you need to stay healthy. Think about last year, the pitchers that they lost, to injury or guys who had injuries that were bugging them. I thought their starting pitching last year was really good through about the first 7-8 weeks of the season. Then it started to break down early April, somewhere around South Carolina, I think is a series that stands out to me, where you could start to kind of see some chinks in the armor. But Tigert had some injuries last year. Molina had injuries. Colin Fisher went out mid-April. Hunter Dietz was someone who was probably their best pitcher in the fall of 23, and they only got 2 outings out of him last year. And so when that happens, as that might be 15 to 20 innings on a weekend that you expect those types of pitchers to give you, or maybe throughout the course of the week. And then you have to go start finding those innings from the back of the bullpen, and everybody just kind of has to move up a spot or move up 2 or 3 spots. And so I think that's what happened to them at the end of last season. I think they were a very deep pitching staff. It's just they were kind of snake bit in that they got injured to some really quality pitchers and the pitchers who they expected to throw significant innings for them. So I think this year they've got a very deep pitching staff, just like I've felt the last couple of years. But, they've got to stay healthy in the, especially at the pitchers who they expect to pitch for them in prominent roles, guys like Beitelses and Root and Gackle and Wood and Christian Fouts and Parker Coyle. If you look back at the end of the season and you say 3 or 4 of those 6 got hurt, then all of a sudden it's probably not, we're going to sound kind of dumb for saying that they've got a deep pitching staff. You got to stay healthy at the prominent spots.
So one of the pitchers that I think will be very interesting, and I think he fits into that role that you were brought up a moment ago, that maybe he's a starter as the season goes on, is Jimenez, coming from Oregon State. I know he dealt with the UCL tear last year, and it seems to me that Aiden is a lot farther along than they expected when they got him to come to Arkansas. I think you'll see him for like an inning or so over the first 2 to 3 weekends, but this is someone who could have been the ace at Oregon State before his injury last year. You think of guys like Ben Bybee and Colin Fisher and Will McIntyre, 3 starters who've had experience starting not just in midweek, but on weekends as well in the SEC. So, that's what I'm talking about. That to me, it feels like there's 5, 6, maybe even 7 options to start a game. But I think Jimenez is someone that we're not really talking about right now, but I bet you we're talking about him in May. And it sounds like I lost Matt. Yeah, I think we might have lost Matt. I don't know if he heard me or not, but we can try to get back with him. Aiden Jimenez is the pitcher that we're talking about here. Christian, if you can try to, get back on the phone with Matt, and we'll get with him on this. Jimenez, I think he was a guy that was, you come here, you'll rehab, we'll get you ready for 2026. But I don't think that's the case right now. They're getting him ready for 2025 to be a weekend reliever to start, but slowly but surely as you build him up, that's someone that should be able to get 4 or 5 innings, maybe by April, and then maybe by May. You need a 4th starter. That's just a fact of this. You have to have 4 starters if you're going to go deep in June, because you never quite know, especially once you get to, if you have to play on a Monday in a regional, once you get to Omaha, you got to have, that's when you got to be at your deepest. And I do think there are 5, 6, maybe 7 that could think about starting. I just brought this up, Matt, about Aiden Jimenez. I don't think he's getting a lot of talk right now, but something tells me we'll be talking a lot about him in May.
Yeah, possibly. He was going to be probably the number 2 starter at Oregon State last year. Aiden May, who was really good for them, was a fairly high draft pick. He was the number 1 guy. He's the one who started opposite Hagen, and any other night he'd look great, but that night Hagen make anybody look bad. And but yeah, Jimenez, he's worked his way back from Tommy John faster than I think anybody expected. Kind of reminds me a little bit of what happened with Dylan Carter last year. So I think he's got a good heavy, what they would call a heavy kind of downhill tilt ball. And he's got some potential if he can get back to where he was at Oregon State before he had the Tommy John surgery last February.
Do we know Hunter Dietz's availability or his health, how he's doing?
Yes, we do. So Hunter has not pitched in any of the scrimmages, and I've had a lot of people ask me about him. His rehab in December, it was kind of on the same track as Jimenez and Colin Fisher. Now, they all were coming back from 3 different injuries, but it just so happened that their rehabs at that point in time had kind of, they'd kind of come together, and, they were all pitching off the mound around the same time, and they were all starting to throw to live hitters around the same time. And so for Dietz, his rehab, I think, has probably slowed just a little bit behind the other 2. Everybody I've talked to says that it's going fine with him. It's just he's not at the point in his rehab to where he's going to be throwing in these live scrimmages yet.
Very good. I know there's going to be a lot of position players that have a green light when they get on base. And one inning stood out to me. I think it was Saturday, where Souza and Justin Thomas both get on base in the same inning. Souza stole his way from first to third base on consecutive pitches and scored on a sac fly. Thomas stole second base, could have stolen third. In fact, you could tell he was angry at himself that he didn't take the opportunity because he had a huge break and just stayed at second base. I'm watching this team right now over the weekend, man, and I'm thinking this is a different approach. Dave's not, obviously he's recruited to the athleticism and the speed, and I can see, look, that was an inning where they just scratched out a run. I think without a base hit, they're going to use this speed. They are looking to steal bases. They are looking not just for the dirt ball reads, but to steal a base, take teams by surprise, and I think they have the personnel to do it.
I think they do too, and I'll tell you another thing that I think it helps is that it helps the young pitchers learn how to hold runners, how aggressive that they're being in these scrimmages. I don't know if this is the same inning that you're talking about or not, but there was an inning against Carson Wiggins over the weekend where Souza and Vahiva Aloy and Justin Thomas, maybe over 2 innings, where they all got on, and the first pitch after they got on, they stole on Wiggins, and then Souza also stole third base. And, you know, what you see from these young pitchers is that they don't know how to hold runners because in a lot of cases they have never really had to because their stuff was just so good in high school that nobody was getting on against them anyway. And so I think that it, that was an area that Matt Hobbs told me that he was disappointed in himself last year for not having the pitching staff be better holding runners late in the season. He said that a good pitching staff ought to be able to do that. And so I think it helps everybody. I think it's going to help Arkansas offensively, put runners into scoring position, and I think it's going to help these pitchers learn how to handle base runners because they are being very aggressive in these scrimmages.
So you can tell who are the starters right now because they've all been lined up in the same team each day on the weekends for these scrimmages. And right now, I don't think Kendall Diggs is one of the starters. You know, they have him to first base or right field on the second level team. Logan Maxwell was getting a start in right field and I think a DH in another game. And I think he was DHing because there might have been just a little bit of a tweak, but I think he's mostly okay because he was able to run the bases and hit. That's who Matt Hobbs told me. Now, I stood in the dugout, asked him during the scrimmage, who's putting together the toughest at-bats? Who's the toughest hitter to get out right now? And without hesitation, he said Logan Maxwell. This is the transfer outfielder from TCU, 335 average last year, 3 homers. I think he's got more pop than just the 3 homers. I think he was dealing with something last year. But this is someone who's just a transfer coming in. I know a whole bunch of teams were after him, and it seems to me right now he's putting together the best plate appearances on a day-by-day basis.
Yeah, I think he's up there. And, you know, he's dealing with 2 things right now. He actually banged into the outfield wall over the weekend, hurt his shoulder, and that kept him out of a scrimmage the next day. And then whenever he came back, he was a DH, and he kind of tweaked a hamstring. So he's dealing with both of those right now. But, you know, when healthy, they think that he is a leadoff type hitter. I think Charles Davalin will probably start the season as their leadoff guy, and then, you know, they might bury Maxwell somewhere down toward the bottom and, you know, maybe try to do the double leadoff type deal. But yeah, I mean, I think he's got a lot of potential. Diggs is really interesting to me because he was in the starting lineup the last couple of days in right field. And I think what happens with him, you know, everything kind of hinges on where do they put Kendall Diggs. Do they put him in the starting lineup? If he's in right field, then that's going to, you know, make a huge difference as to who's playing first base, and it's going to make a difference as to who's playing him left, and it's going to make a difference as to who was the DH. I see from Diggs that his swing, it seems like it's getting more comfortable every day. I think that you'll probably see him in the starting lineup. I'd maybe not, but I'd be surprised if you didn't see him in the starting lineup, at least at the beginning of the season.
Okay. Matt, we'll leave it there. Appreciate you hopping on. Thanks a lot. We'll do it again sometime soon, and might see you Friday out there at the next scrimmage, okay?
Okay. Thanks, Phil. We'll see you.
You got it. Matt Jones, Whole Hog Sports, with us here on Halftime. Get over to Crabtree RV Center sometime soon because it feels like fall spring right now, and you probably have ideas for huge adventures for the family over the summertime. Well, Crabtree RV Center has the perfect RV on the lot to fit your needs. You find Crabtree RV at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma, right beside the Cracker Barrel. They've been in Alma for over 70 years, helping your family's dreams come true at crabtreerv.com as well. Now, if you want to get on Halftime for the home stretch, it's open for you. 877-377-6963. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
This is Halftime.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
It's a key ingredient called Tesnor. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. Total T is backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text ROCK to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text ROCK to 321321. That's ROCK to 321321.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Hey, Ty Richardson, I'm with my friend Ethan Adamson. Ethan, I know you're a wizard here at First Financial Mortgage, but you do okay with the sticks as well.
Yeah, I've been playing golf since I was 5. I've been in the golf game for a long time.
Question is, what are you better at, golf or lending?
I have to say that equally both. I've used golf in my career to kind of help propel as well. I used to prepare hard with golf. I do the same thing in work. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5. FFB1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
It's a key ingredient called Tesnor. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. Total T is backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text ROCK to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text ROCK to 321321. That's ROCK to 321321.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Just a perfect day. Drink sangria in. And then later, when it gets dark, we go home. Just a perfect day. Feed animals in the zoo. Then later, a movie too, and then home. Oh, It's such a pretty day. I'm glad I spent it with you. Oh, such a pretty day. You just keep me hanging.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Look on the text line here. Matt Jacob in Fort Smith asks, how confident are you that 7 conference wins gets Arkansas to the NCAA tournament? Because he's not so confident. It's going to depend on who the wins come against. Admittedly, you're going to have to get to 7 first, and maybe that's the trick. But, you know, if your 7 wins are, let me look at the thing here. Georgia, Kentucky, that's 2. LSU, 3. Let's just say you beat Texas in one of the games, 4. South Carolina, 5. Now you're at 7 wins. But what is the win that gets you in? Or how many of these victories are viewed as I don't know how many of them be quad 1, to be honest. I mean, I know before conference season started, any road win that wasn't at Carolina was quad 1. I'm not sure if that's the case now. Probably is. Maybe in that case it does get you in. I don't know. But I think if you sweep Texas and one win of those is on the road, you beat LSU, and an upset over Alabama, an upset over A&M, an upset over Auburn, mixed in with beating Mizzou, and that would be an upset too. And don't lose the games that you should win, just like you should have beaten Oklahoma, just like you should have beaten LSU. Don't lose any more of those games at Carolina, on the road at Vandy. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily one you should win, because Vandy's proven to be really tough in that building. It's going to matter who the wins come against, Matt. And I also know that if they don't win tomorrow, I don't know if the conversation continues like this very much.
So that would be 7-11. You think 7-11 can get them in?
What if 6 of those wins are quad 1 wins?
Well, there's then I would say you're out of wishes. That would be you would have used up all your luck. This team's not making the. I mean, they're not winning 6 more games, man. I hope they do. Where do you think they're? Where do you think it's about this next game? If they can find a way to go into Austin and win that game. Because if not, that's an L. Alabama's an L. LSU, you can win that. Then you go on the road to A&M and Auburn, and then possibly the best team in the SEC comes into town. You can't have another 3-game losing streak and expect to make the tournament.
Admittedly, you can play well tomorrow and still lose. You can play well against Alabama and still lose. It's the same on the road at A&M and Auburn. Those are teams that you can play very well against, but they're good enough to beat a good team that plays well that night. Arkansas's got to do what they can to make sure that opponent plays their worst. I'm not sure if I'd say Kentucky had their worst game on Saturday, but that's also, to the thought of, was Saturday really a turnaround? Was the win at Kentucky a turnaround, or was it a one-off thing that had to do with the bigness of the event and the return, not just of Cal, but of the 3 former Wildcats? And then if that's the case, if that's what it was, if it's just a one-off thing, well, that's the highlight of your season. And in a month or so, we'll just be talking about, closing out the year against Mississippi State, and can they do anything in the NIT? I don't think anybody wants to talk about that. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts. Yeah, Caleb asked about if Dietz is healthy. Hunter Dietz, if he's healthy, could be a huge difference maker. Big, tall left-hander. I mean, gigantic arm. Good breaking ball, too. We just haven't, it's nothing against Dietz. It's a matter of health, I think, first and foremost. There's always been stories of talented pitchers that come in with fireball arms and either have trouble staying healthy or were never able to locate their pitches. I always remember, and I don't know if he's in the NFL now or not, but we had this left-hander, tall, like 6'7", 6'8", who could throw like 98 miles an hour. I think he got into one game. Lucas Krull was his name. Krull ended up transferring to Florida to play football and then was a tight end, played football at Pitt. I think he might be in the NFL by now. That's somebody that if he could have thrown strikes, potentially could be pitching Major League Baseball right now. Dietz is one of those guys. Dietz is exactly like that.
Let's go baseball.
Yeah, always let's go baseball. That's exactly right. Gabe Gackle, Gage Woods, Steel Eves getting his pick for the best. I don't know what these guys' songs were. Songs of Balm were released, I think, earlier today. That's everybody's intro music. You don't get – that's one thing you got to appreciate about baseball, because all eyes are you when you walk up to home plate or you come out of the bullpen. You actually get your own walkout music. You don't get your own personal walkout music playing football. You don't get your own personal walkout music playing basketball. You get it playing baseball. You should be able to get personal walkout music for golf. Why do we have...
You do on the Live Tour.
Do they really?
It's a party, man.
It would make sense.
Pop your collars, front tuck.
Isn't this weekend the... it used to be the Phoenix Open. What's it called now? The craziest golf tournament.
I think it's still the same. I think it's still the Phoenix
Waste
Open.
Management. Is it called Waste Management?
That's who sponsors it, yeah.
That's the one. Here's Woods in Bentonville. I was talking baseball, so his ears were ringing. What's up, Woods? How are you?
Oh, my ears are wet.
I don't know if I needed that detail, but thank you.
Well, whenever you start talking about it, it perks my ears. But I heard you talking that you went to the scrimmages this weekend.
Yeah.
So I saw a video of Souza hitting, and that dude is special, and I hope that he has a breakout season.
He can be special.
Seriously.
He can be, but it's the same idea as, I just brought up this big lefty that could throw 99 miles an hour. The thing that can kill a baseball career if you're a hitter, it's the same idea as a pitcher that can't throw strikes. If you can't put the ball over the plate, what are we doing here? Your ability to throw 100 miles an hour doesn't matter then. If you can't make contact as a hitter, not much else that you do matters. And that was the big issue for Nolan last year. I think he had a lot of trouble with off-speed stuff, the high fastball, and he can catch up with it, but I think he swung out of the zone a little bit. But hey, as a freshman, these things will happen. But that's one of the ifs moving forward for this team this year. Nolan Souza, if the if goes in a positive direction, the sky's the limit. It's just it doesn't always go in that direction, Woods. You know that.
Yeah, I totally understand. But yeah, everybody that I played with that saw him in his first 10 games were in awe of the kind of talent that he could potentially have. Right? Like he's got that potential.
He's got the kind of potential. He's got the sort of potential that makes you drool, because he could be the fastest player on the team, and he might hit the ball harder than everybody else. But again, it does not matter very much if you don't make contact. I don't have the team's numbers in front of me from last year, but I know Souza had a really high strikeout rate. And that's got to be something that is cut down dramatically. It's the same with Ryder Helfrich. The strikeouts are okay. It's just you can't have more. I'd rather not see more strikeouts than times reaching base.
Yeah, I get that, and I can tell you that most freshmen and underclassmen don't exceed very well, like at an early age in the SEC. Like it's hard. So
it is.
I hope that his development is going to get to where you're hoping it will get to.
Well, they're certainly working on it with him, Woods, and just a little bit more contact for him next year. And I think for this season, I keep saying next year, it's this season. It's coming up right now, and the world and the sky could absolutely be the limit for Nolan Souza. This is looking at his numbers here from last year. Souza had 28 base hits. He had 18 walks, and his strikeout total was awfully high, 38 strikeouts. So that's about the same. It's a little more times on base than striking out, but got to get that on base percentage higher, especially in SEC play. And it looks to me like he's the second baseman. That's where he's been playing. To me, I don't know if I'd see him necessarily always as a second baseman, because he can play just about anywhere. Left field, center field, but second base, that'll certainly play for him as well. That's an if. Not all of the ifs turn into a positive on a year-by-year basis. But if enough of those ifs go the right direction, and Souza making more contact would be one of those ifs, you can end up with a really, really special season. 877-377-6963 to get with us. They got preseason college baseball props right now on BetSaras, and they've also got all the props going up for the Super Bowl. It's up right now. I mean, Neil told us there'd be over 200 of those prop bets for the Super Bowl, and they're up right now on BetSaras. You can download it from the App Store for your iPhone, Google Play for Android users, any web browser as well. It'll work. Just type it in, betsarazen.com, and we'll be talking with Neil Atkinson Friday about those prop bets for the Super Bowl on BetSarazin. Now we'll break, and we'll come back, wrap up the show right after this.
There it is. This is halftime.
Experience the excitement at Cherokee Casino in Roland, Oklahoma. Join us February 14th for the Valentine's Extravaganza, where you can win a share of $21,000 in hourly drawings from 5 to 11 p.m. Plus, enjoy a special performance by Sarah Evans at Lee Creek Tavern. Every Saturday in February, take your shot at $15,000 in hourly drawings. Don't miss the big game on February 9th, then try your luck on the casino floor. The fun never stops at Cherokee Casino in Roland, Oklahoma. Come play today.
Tired of spending all your hard-earned cash at the gas pump right now? Wheeler Power Sports is here to help you out. They have a giant selection of motorcycles and scooters to help maximize fuel efficiency. There are over 50 scooters in stock right now, with some getting up to 100 miles per gallon. Wheeler also has a great selection of motorcycles from the Kawasaki, Suzuki, and Kymco. Check out their full inventory at WheelerPowersports.com or check out their showroom in person at 901 North 11th Street near downtown Fort Smith. Wheeler Power Sports. Keeping the good times rolling.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Z Road, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TRAVEL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TRAVEL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TRAVEL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
At Central Hydraulic in Fort Smith, the work doesn't just stop when the temperature drops. We're your go-to service provider. Be sure to prep your machine and stay ahead of the frost and costly damage. Still using summer oil? Winter-friendly oil is the weapon your machine needs. Be sure to get an oil change. Check your hydraulic fluid, fuel prep, and battery check. For all these services needed in the cold weather months, come see Central Hydraulic for all your hydraulic needs at 6104 Highway 271 South or call at 479-646-0571. Central Hydraulic, your service provider.
The best mornings
In the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started on the right foot.
I put my blue jeans on. I put my blue jeans on.
Good mornings make for better days.
I put my blue jeans on. I put my blue jeans on.
Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Razorback Gymnastics is back, and they're ready to light up Bud Walton Arena all season long. Led by U.S. Olympic gold medalist Jordan Weaver, the nationally ranked Gymbacks are set to compete in 5 action-packed home meets after a program-best Elite 8 finish last season. Be a part of the excitement with season tickets starting at $35 by visiting ArkansasRazorbacks.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
It's holding you up, says to me in your mouth. You never adopt her, you never adopt her. It's got to adopt her, it's got to adopt her.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Let's take a quick phone call from James before we bid you adieu for the rest of the day. James, appreciate you calling halftime. What's going on?
Hey, guys, thank you. Listen, I've only listened to about the last 30 minutes of the show. I've been really busy today. But I think part of the segment I heard, Phil and Matt both, I think you're getting the cart before the horse. And I know it's your job to look down the road and see what we think we're going to do in the season. But Arkansas had a great win Saturday over a good team. Yes, they're missing their star player. We're missing ours too. And our job is not to go 8-10 or 7-11. Our job is to beat Texas Wednesday. And I don't see anything that says we can't do that. Now, we may not, but there's nothing to say we can't. And Matt, from the level that you've played at, I mean, you know your job is to beat the person in front of you. So our job is to beat Texas. And I don't know who we've got Saturday, but if we beat Texas, then our job is to beat the next one. And you take it a step at a time. So I guess what I'm saying is, let's don't cast gloom and doom. We're not scheduled for the NIT yet. And I think we still have an opportunity. And I think we've got the athletes to do it. You know, if the players made a turnaround Saturday, there's no telling what we can do for the rest of the season. And that was just my input. Let's just take it a game at a time and not predict what's going to happen at the end of the year.
Okay, thank you, James. I view it as the team's job to go out and win the next game and then win the game after that. Sports Radio, we're not in the locker room. Our job is to make conversation about the team that we're watching. And I think that's also something that plenty of fans are wondering about right now. That was the heart of the question of, is the win over Kentucky a one-off thing? What does it mean? Is it a turnaround? Well, I think you find out tomorrow against Texas, and then you go from there. Yeah, I mean, it's the players that are ones that have to worry about what's up right there in front of them, and hopefully that's the case.
One game at a time. This team's going to have to win back-to-back conference games if they're making the tournament. They haven't done that yet. You beat two teams, I think, that are going to make the NCAA tournament. So, yeah, there's some games left that are going to happen, but got to be more consistent. Got to win 2, 3, 4 games in a row. Just, going 1 and 2 out of every 3 game segment's not going to make the tournament.
Sometimes it's our job to put cart ahead of the horse because we're in either the cart or the horse. We appreciate you listening in today, and thanks for your calls and thanks for your texts. Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast will be put out very, very soon by C Movie. It's downloadable anywhere you get your podcast, or also on your Hit That Line Now app, where you can get all of the shows. You can view all of our shows, brought to you by Taco Bell. If you're craving something cheesy, saucy, or crunchy, Taco Bell has you covered. And that includes Ruskin and Zach. They got you covered for the next few hours, right up until 7 o'clock. And we'll do this again tomorrow with Grant Hall and Fisherman Clay Henry joining us for a couple hours on halftime. So for Matt Jones and for Christian Johnston, I'm Phil Elson. We appreciate you listening today. Thank you very much. That's halftime. Now get up, get out, and get better.
Experience the excitement at Cherokee Casino in Roland, Oklahoma. Join us